60. No teams, as I'm getting a whisper in my ear from my producer. No teams. But the weather randomness is set.
And putting everything on the line here. Qualifying, extremely important in all manner of racing, especially here at one of these circuits. You start in the back, it's going to take you a while to make your way to the front. Even if you're fast, you have to work your way through traffic, you got to work your way through people that are slower than you, people that want to move out of your way. It's a whole mess. So you absolutely want to have a great qualifying lap and start up near the front today.
Indeed, and while qualifying's going on, we'll just take you through some of our other drivers here today. Barat Buduk in the Ferrari did not finish his previous race at Spa, but his last finish was P3 in Belgium, which is, for those uneducated, is Spa again, so he's definitely someone to watch out for in that mid-pack, possibly even going for an upper reach at the podium. But one driver that I'm really interested in today, and maybe this is just me, but I think this is my drive to watch today, Harit Sheerblam, the Thai driver in the McLaren. 4th in his last Silverstone, P3 at the most recent race at Barcelona. He's not someone that really grabs the headlines a lot of the time, but at a track like Silverstone, I really expect him to do well.
Oh yeah. I believe today, especially during qualifying, we're going to see them absolutely launch it, and I did take a couple laps in these cars last night just in preparation. This is not an easy track, especially when you come down from Stowe into Vale into the really tight left-hander of Club. Down the backstretch, you got to be really hard on the brakes. So I'm just so excited to see how these guys qualify, see how hard they're going to push, and see if we're getting a loss of control or if these boys can keep these machines underneath them.
Yeah, and one thing as well, one of the most famous bits of the track, not the most famous parts of the track, like it is very quick, and definitely going to be interesting to see if there is any slip-ups today from our drivers. I don't think there will be, but you never know as you look towards the first few cars that are setting paces. Wesley in provisional pole with a 150, 8.9.
Wow.
Great start.
What a blistering.
Second place for a second was Florian Braun in the McLaren side with a 2-minute time, but it's now Maurice Issenger in the Ferrari to overtake that. But still, a 159, it's not a million miles away, but that little bit of time makes all of the difference.
Absolutely. Wesley, I'm still getting over that, under a 159. That's incredible. Issinger coming up right behind him in the Ferrari, plus a 10. Wow. Incredible so far.
Yeah, this is going to be a big day for some of these drivers, as Wesley van der Linden will just catch on board with. And as well, P3, you see Michael Blom just setting that time in provisional 3rd place as Wesley van der Linden takes that turn very nicely, I must say, as we are looking to go into the backstretch. But definitely someone to be very interested in, I'll say.
Absolutely.
So here we see
the Honda heading into the pits.
I was about to say, guess here. And as well, Dan Leeson in that Lexus. They're going to maybe fight with each other a bit. No, they're not going to fight. It's like qualifying. Of course they're not going to fight, but seeing what times they can set. I can hope that we get entertainment in qualifying, as there is a bit of contact from Gessir as Dan Leeson and Gessir do end up leaving the track. I'm not sure if Gessir, I think he locked up there. and accidentally went into a driver of Dan Leeson. Is, I mean,
getting it going already in qualifying. I love it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's definitely some rivalries already being set here. As you see more drivers coming in. We have Swede Emil Antonsson for his Silverstone debut, placing in P9 for now. His highest finish, or his most recent finish, was a second place at Spa. Messenger going just wide.
Very good.
Is Michael Blom in that Lamborghini, just testing the limits, pushes himself up to P5.
Not 2/10 off his best lap that time.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Blom.
Lee maybe starting to feel a bit more, well, I was going to say a bit more pressure, but he's actually set up a better lap, 158.4.
Sending it. Goodness! Sending it through farm. On board with Wesley Vanderlyn now. Tailing that Lamborghini.
Yeah, you can just go up around the field.
Heading down Wellington now, down into Brooklands. Left turn gets on the brakes. Sweeping right-hander going through left field. Exits on the side of the track. Woo!
It's going to be interesting as well for some of these drivers, especially making their, Silverstone debuts. And we also do have one full debutant in Patrick Olsen from the United States. Happy 4th of July to all those who celebrate as well. That was yesterday, I'm aware, but All American decided to come here to FGM and come in not a Ford but a British car in a Bentley. So that's interesting. That's definitely a choice. But Patrick Olsen, full debut for FGM. What do you think is going to be going through the mind of the American?
Well, as a fellow American, we don't. Road racing's not really our specialty. We like ovals. But I do have faith in my American patriot here, especially the day after the 4th of July, that he can have a really, really good race and put on a show. I think he'll do well. And what car was he in?
He was in the Bentley. Which I was saying it was a choice because,
in the Bentley.
American in the British car on the 5th of July, it would be over there. It's definitely a choice.
Interesting. We'll see what he can do today. We'll see if he can get it done.
Yeah, history nerds are not having fun with that one, I'm hearing. Anyway, but Patrick Olsen will be an interesting watch as we go on with Emil Antonsson in the provisional P10 right now. As he's just looking to try and do a bit better than the Swede. Second place finish at Spa. Looking to try and battle that into a P1, but he's also got such a strong competition. The Issenger brothers, Wesley, Van der Linden, Dan Leeson, Michael Blom, there's so many more. And literally, just above him, sits Mahan Run and Tawa. It's a big battle for that first place position so far.
Yeah, it's really important too. You want to be in the best spot possible the second the green flag waves. Anytime you spend fighting back in the pack, or anytime you spend fighting at all, is time that you could be running faster laps. So you really want to either, being this is an endurance race, you don't want to use everything you have and go all out in the first stint. You really want to pace yourself. It's very important to not get into an incident early, tear your car up, and be out of the race. You really want to make it into probably about the last third, maybe last fourth, and then you want to go. But you want to be in a great position before that time happens. so that you are not struggling and struggling and struggling to make your way back through.
Yeah, indeed. We've seen Wesley coming back out. I don't know how much you can bet at that time and Ford at Silverstone, but you know, I think to say he's giving it a go would be an understatement considering it's Wesley. But anyway, we're looking towards the rest of the pack now, as we have Mate Atala in our only Honda for today, our only Honda driver. Silverstone debut as well. However, previous finish, P11 at Barcelona, looking to try and get into that top 10. Will he be able to do it? We'll find out in not too long, hopefully.
We will see.
Wesley other races
continuing to be on pole, leading by 0.663 over Michael Isinger. Big lead. It's going to be hard for these boys. Ooh, and a big off track from Wesley. Announcer's curse right there. My goodness.
Only 2.5 minutes to go. It's looking unlikely that Wesley will be dethroned as Power Share Blam comes in and goes for a spin.
Oh,
it's looking very nice.
Keeping it off the wall,
but just
should be no damage. Oh, never mind. That is the wall.
That's the wall. But yeah, unlucky for the Thai driver, and has, I think, one more lap to go before. Well, one more lap to try and get that sorted in that position. With some of our other drivers today, including Bale Sarabia, Mexican, in the McLaren. P10 on Barcelona at Friday night, but previous Silverstone finish of 2nd place. It's going to be difficult to try and get back up there, but I mean, Sarabia will give it a go, won't he?
He's going to try. At this point, you have no choice.
Indeed.
Only a minute 30 left to qualifying now.
Yeah, and another driver that I'm really interested in today is Timofey Slobodnik from Belarus in the BMW. It's a Silverstone debut and has only raced once before at Spa, but finished P2 there. Now, that's a hell of a drive at Spa to get P2 in your debut race. So now, it's a question of, do we go for P1 in this race, or is it a question of just, okay, very good start, if the standards fall off, it doesn't matter as long as it doesn't fall off a cliff.
Well, if I finish P2 in my first race, I know I would stop at nothing to get P1 in my next race. You always want to see constant improvement, and what improvement over 2nd place is but first.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good mentality to have for sim racers as we go to our last 40 seconds of qualifying now. Wesley still on provisional pole. Wesley van der Linden being placed in P2, and Marius Isinger rounding out P3 with Toby Isinger in P4. Michel Blom P5, as the rest of the pack still seeking out that final run. There's a lot of them will go to the pits. Wesley is going to be holding on to provisional pole. Wesley van der Linden has such a big chance of going and taking that pole position away from Wesley, but has to get it right from now on. Has set a best double sector, but is deciding to back out. Will take the P2, Marius Isinger P3, Toby Isinger P4, Michael Blom P5.
For the race. Goodness me.
Look to go towards our final few. Out his power share Blam P6. Can he better that time as he looks to take a turn with the tricky right-hander? 0.78 off pole. I mean, it's going to take a big drive and a big effort down the straight here. Don't think. Well, actually, no, never mind.
He's quick.
It's been a long day. He is quick. As we go into Maggots and Beckett's now. Tricky left and right-handers. This is not actually Maggots and Beckett's. Oh, I'm getting it all wrong. It's a hot day. It's a hot day.
It's all good, man. It's hot over there, isn't it? I've heard it's warm.
It's warm right now. It's getting warmer as the night goes on, which is weird. It's not how that's meant to work, surely. Anyway, power it. Share Blam now. We'll be looking to try and possibly take that pole position away from Wesley, but I think anything higher than P5 would be interesting, especially considering how close you are, especially to P4 and Toby Issinger. No, you've got to be looking
quick heading
towards
around
that as we go into the
Woodcut
final
now.
corner. Where's power at Shareblam ended?
Oh, P2! What?
It's a P2.
Will it? Yes, P2.
It's a P2 for power
wow.
at Shareblam. So on.
Wow!
So
right at the end. Oh my gosh! Hot dog.
Go through.
Isn't that incredible? Right at the end, just sneaks it.
So to go through our grid, in first position we have Wesley in second, Power at Shareblam third, Wesley van der Linden fourth, Marius Issinger followed closely in fifth by his brother Toby Issinger. Sixth finds Michael Blom, seventh Dan Leeson, eighth Mahan Rantawa, ninth Emil Antonsen, 10th Gail Sarabia.
Ooh, and we got a penalty.
11th Florian Brown. Yeah, penalty for Patrick Olsen at the back.
Patrick Olsen. Dang it, man.
Time penalty.
10 seconds.
Good start for the American. Causing a collision. I believe that is being applied just in practice, qualifying, sorry, which is why Patrick Olsen is at the back.
Okay.
In P12. Well, I'm
gonna have to bring the Bentley from the back.
P12, Tafut Gesser in the Lamborghini. In P13 we have Berat Buduk. Number 14 Ben Naimi. Number 15 Mate Hatar. We have that's a collision with Wesley. Just didn't look like he was braking for it. And
yeah, it looked like
no,
car on the top of the track tried to come down a little too far, just didn't have the room, got into the hood and spun him.
Wasn't Wesley and Alexis, apologies, that was, let me find the Lexus driver real quick. It's a fun game this actually, you should try it. Dan Leeson in the Lexus, that was hit. Anyway, in 17th we have Yusuf F.A. Akinci in the McLaren. 18th, Daniel Covey. Number 19th is Simofey Slabodnik. And in P20, Patrick Olsen, who I actually do believe that time penalty might have carried on to the race. I'm not too sure.
We will know shortly.
I thought it was only qualifying. Yeah, we'll know shortly. We'll update you shortly. But we will be getting
4th of
ready
July.
For our
penalty already. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
We will be getting to our formation lap in just a second, and here we go with our formation lap at Silverstone. And you can see there, overcast, but no rain, no storms or anything, no excessive sunshine. I mean, how is that going to affect the drivers today?
Probably cooler track temperatures, I would have to say. When the sun's not out, track is not as hot. It takes more time to get your tires heated. Track is honestly less grippy when it's cooler like this. So, drivers gonna have a little bit of a challenge out here today. Track's not gonna be gripping probably as much as they'd like, but I'm pretty sure they'll be fine.
Yeah, you can see in the top left there, 22 degrees only. Very cold day, but not the warmest that drivers could hope, and so getting that grip is going to be crucial. One slip up with the grip and your race could near enough be over.
Absolutely.
And that's definitely something that we will look towards.
One bad corner. Whole day.
Yes.
You can see them swerving, trying to warm up those tires as much as they can before this first green flag lap.
Yes, indeed.
Look at them.
And I do believe that the time penalty for Patrick Olsen is actually going to stay 55 seconds worth of penalties for 3 incidents of qualifying. 10 seconds for causing a collision. A bad rejoin that caused a collision was 30 seconds. And lapping car.
Really, really early. Unfortunate position to be in.
Yeah, not great at all as you go to the old start finish line at Silverstone.
Down the Hamilton Straight.
Hamilton Straight.
Renamed, obviously, for Sir Lewis Hamilton, 7-time World Drivers' Champion.
Indeed.
Formula
indeed.
1.
Formula 1, yeah. Silverstone was today. As bad as it sounds,
It
I'm not
was
actually too sure of
indeed,
the... Well, actually too sure of the winner of that today.
I was not able to watch that. It is hard
We'll find out
for me
at
to
some
watch F1 races over here.
Yeah.
I can watch the one in Miami pretty well.
Yeah. And the Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah. Coda's cool too.
And there you see Dan Leeson in famous livery. An old chip livery.
Oh, that's lovely.
Very
Ooh, we got a car
British.
stopped.
Very nice, very British.
I wonder where the fish
It
is
will
at.
be maybe in my belly. Who knows? I'm Britain. But anyway, we will be heading into our first lap in just seconds. So make sure to stay on track, stay en route. Because in a matter of seconds, we will be heading into that start-finish line as we go around the final, well, not the final corner. Well, it is the final corner, technically. As we see Wesley there, going to be a very important start for him in the Ford, but Power Chairblam as well, also there. As we look to get racing, that green flag is going to come out any second now. You will see a lot of these cars zooming by. Is Wesley looking to put first place into the juice, and we have the green light, and away we are for Silverstone. This Wesley to get that good start, but Power Chairblam staying right on this tail, and in fact could go into that turn.
We're going to take the outside line, thinks better of it.
Yeah, had a look, but not able to make better of Wesley. Still trying to find through, but there is a penalty, a drive-through penalty for Wesley. I'm not sure what that is for, but we will have a look at that second. But that is a big bad start for Wesley.
That is not how you want to start off from pole. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Not a great start at all. Wesley van der Linden still in P3 for now. But Wesley seemingly getting a bit of a gap on Power at Chairblam. The Thai driver had that outside line, but had to rearrange to make much better of it. Still only 4/10 away, as I believe there might have been a little collision there. Daniel Covey in P14th, and there was Marius Issinger went off the track. I'm not sure what happened there, but he now finding himself in P18, Marius Issinger, and far away from his brother Toby, who still remains in P4 for now.
And the first top three have separated themselves from the field, each running their own lines. Lee running just a little bit ahead of Chairblom just a little bit ahead of Van der Linden. They've separated themselves from the pack a good little ways.
Look at
3
this,
second
Barrett
gap
Budak.
between third and fourth.
Barrett Budak is sideways on the track. Must have left, maybe not left the course, but maybe gone a bit wide on the turn. Is now in 18th. Patrick Olsen
in the bin
now there.
Sitting backwards on track.
Backwards on track, and already a 50-second time penalty, but he gets even worse.
So
but meanwhile, we are
Wesley
getting our first driver through. It's Michael Blom, who's sliding through that turn. Is Wesley, as you said, taking that penalty. Power Chairblom will be going up into no, Wesley not actually taking the penalty there. No. I believe the pit window isn't open yet, so...
Oh, it's at 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Opens at 20... I think it was 22 minutes pit window opens. That's what it is. Yep.
22 minutes, so Parrot Sheblam
Yeah, the pylon threw me
Still-
off a little bit.
just behind. Alright, you see Wesley van der Linden wanting to have a go at Parrot Sheblam, and will look to have a go here, going on the inside, and Van
on
der
the
Linden
inside, he's going to complete that move.
just to get it. Great move from Van der Linden, and
Shot it up
really
the inside,
nice.
able to complete it. Awesome.
Yeah, Parrot Sheblam now falls to P3. Barrett Budak, another unlucky turn, I'm assuming. Off track again for the Ferrari, and go back to Parrot Sheblam in P3. Now had the chance very early on to get Wesley going into turn 1, but just couldn't make that move stick. But now being punished for it is Yusuf Efe Akinci goes wide. There's Calvi in the back there as well. Not sure if there was some contact between the two. All we know is that Akinci is
Van der Linden's
sideways.
put a gap on Sheblam now. But a 1.5 second gap between second and third, 1.5 between first and second. Or 0.5 between first and second, excuse me.
And look how Wesley is going to be going into the pit, serve that drive-through penalty.
Serving
Is
his
now
drive.
we will be going to a Wesley van der Linden first place, Parrot Sheblam in second.
Your new leader.
A new leader for now, but we, like I was saying before this, we've seen Wesley, we've seen how good he can be. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what the recovery is, because he's going all the way to the back of the pack.
If there's anybody that can work their way back up over 3 hours, I'd give Wesley a pretty good shot. If considering what I've seen today, he is so fast.
Michael Blom there, you see, in that Lamborghini, looks to have
Whoa!
gone into the wall.
That was close. My dog.
Nearly another
Slow on track.
accident on the re-entry.
That
Well,
was
the Dutch
close,
driver.
my friend. Oh my
Now
goodness.
falls to P16, who just behind Wesley, who has finished serving penalty. And here's Toby Issinger, long way away from his brother, but P3, not too sad. And there's actually, you can see in the pit lane there, that is Dustin Covey in the pits. I'm not sure what for though. I don't believe that was a drive-through penalty or anything. So
I wonder if he had damage.
maybe just damage. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Maybe on. If we saw Covey in the background, might have hit a wall. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of his race goes. As we go back to the Swede Emil Antonsson, P9, currently not too far away. I actually think he placed in P9 qualifying, so not much change
He's
there.
looking for a
We'll look
move.
to the inside of Gail
gonna
Sarabia,
take
and
it.
we'll get it.
Right
Gail Sarabia
away.
looking for the switchback low. Ooh,
Gonna
look to
try it.
fight.
I don't think he's going to have the gas. 58 was able to get into the gas. Oh, a little incident there. Got a little squirrely. That he's going to take the position and he's going to keep it as they round through Woodcott down to Cops.
I think Antonsson just didn't realise Sarabia was still there and looked to try and block him off. And I was a bit surprised
Whoa!
as we see. I believe that's Mate Hatala going
Oh,
for a spin.
Hatala in the wall.
I don't know how much damage there was though. I don't think it was a massive impact, but still into the wall goes
Hopefully he
our
can keep,
one and only
keep the
Honda
bumper on
driver.
that Honda.
Meanwhile, Yusuf Efe Akinci saw him off the track earlier, but now looking to fight with Slabodnik.
Oh,
Will
wow.
get that spot, but the switchback.
Oh,
by
and the
Slabodnik is
switchback.
good.
Oh, my goodness. He took the top line of the track away from him. Yusuf get to the grass a little bit.
There is still a fight. Akinci really tried to undercut Slabodnik there as they go onto the straight away, but I don't think Akinci's going to have the speed to take the BMW driver.
Not down the straight into Stowe. I don't believe so. He's going to take a wide line up there in the marbles.
That pretty much ruins that opportunity for the pass on Slabodnik. Akinci just having to
Gotta ride it out.
Make the
Little
feet
deep
come
into
out.
that corner as well. He's not going to get the best drive off. Look at driving off the track, trying to keep it under him.
And this is scary now as well because Michael Blom in Lamborghini is right behind him, so we're going to have to see how that plays out. soon enough. And here's Marius Issinger back in P9 after going all the way to the back of the bag. Has fallen for P9 and now is putting pressure on Emil Antonsson.
He's close enough for a move. We'll see if he goes for it. Doesn't look like it. He's going to stick to his line.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to try and get Antonsson very soon. You can see that shrinking immensely.
Really technical section of the track here. A lot of braking, a lot of riding off throttle.
Yeah, the about that I'm really excited to see is Issinger's just going to look to try and go make a move, won't get it. There will be a penalty for Davut Gashir.
Number one, time.
Causing a collision, but meanwhile, Antonsson I think goes wide and Issinger manages to capitalise on the mistake with ease.
Marius Issinger using all of the track there. My goodness. Cutting over the curb. Looks like we got a good battle going into Stowe right now, too. Back with the Chips car, number 33. Dan Leeson.
Dan Leeson. Just behind Mahanwa Tawa, who's currently in P4. Tobias just actually made his way up to P3 off camera, but Leeson looks to be trying to get towards that P4, not too far away at all.
Yeah. Losing a little bit of time.
Looks like it's
Abbey and Farm here.
I think for Dan Leeson, it's just going to have to be a case of seeing if Mahanwa Andrawa just makes a mistake in one of these turns and capitalising it. Because this Lexus, I mean, we saw a great race. It was minus 30 odd kilograms.
Florian Brown.
Yeah, Florian Brown.
And another penalty.
Well, penalty for Yusuf Efe Akinci, who was
number 94.
struggling.
We're going to see a lot of those today.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a lot of those already, and we're on lap 4.
It's a tough track, man. And these are not the easiest cars in the world to drive either, so drivers have a challenge, for sure. Marius Issinger.
Issinger again,
rejoining
off the track. And this is the second time he's spun out. Not as bad as this previous collision, or accident I should say, only going up to P11 and losing a place only to Antonsson, who he managed to get ahead before, so I think he's had to say he can do it again, but
Leeson really deep into that corner, sent it right around the edge up to the hanger straight on the back. We'll see if he'll make a move into Stowe.
Yeah, looks to maybe try and make
Looked like he backed off a little bit, just going to ride.
Meanwhile, here's Gael Sorabi and the Mexican. And Naomi looking to try and fight McLaren brethren? Is that the right word for this? The fellow McLaren, I will say.
Manufacturer brethren, yeah. But I promise there's going to be there's no brotherly love on this track today, buddy. I can promise you that.
Oh yeah, we've seen that a lot already. As Sorabi is going to make a move to the inside or look to try.
Going to think better of it. Oh!
Dan Leeson.
Dan Leeson in the chip car.
Yeah, Dan Leeson. I think that might be Patrick Olsen with that crash. As Leeson is just going to go right back to the pits. But I believe that was Olsen that was also involved in that collision.
Dang, you hate to see that.
Yeah, I mean, how Leeson was going as well, I think Olsen might have been getting lapped, and so there might have been a
passing opportunity here. He's going to send it up the inside. Gael Sarabia.
Yes. Sarabia making that move stick for now, but has to be careful of the switch back from Naomi, and there's Wesley off the track as well.
in an incident.
And going from bad to worse, and there is a disqualification for Patrick Olsen. And things go from bad to worse for the American, now leaving Silverstone in disgrace.
Tough. It happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, it did look like some poor driving on number 420 though, the Bentley driver.
On board with Ben Navy now. I'd just like to go ahead and point out that Van der Linden done put a pretty good gap on Shablom now, up to 3.2 seconds, so he's looking really good.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how the back of the pack especially rearranges itself, especially as we will be going into pit stops fairly soon, as there will be another disqualification for Timofey Slobodnik, the Belarusian.
Oh man,
is out of the race as well.
Goodness gracious, man.
Yeah, is not looking too good, as we will be going into a replay of what happened with Dan Leeson and Patrick Olsen.
Looks like he lost control, maybe didn't brake enough. That's a rough one right there.
Yeah, I think he expected Olsen to try and go full pelt through that, but the new driver not really willing to.
Yeah, and that's something you have to worry about too. If you're in the back of the pack or even the middle of the pack, you can have people that are less experienced than you, and if you're not prepared for them not to take the corner like you, that is an incident that will happen, and it will happen often.
Yeah, it's not great, but it does happen, unfortunately. And so we are down to 16 drivers, as Dan Leeson has retired from the race after the previous incident, sadly. But we will be on board now with Michael Blom, who goes into the grass just a tiny bit. P13
Just a
behind,
tiny bit.
yeah, behind
He's sitting right
Wesley
behind
and Matej
pole sitter Wesley. Wes, where is he at right now? Where is he sitting? Former, yes.
Wesley
Up into
currently
12th
P12 and looking to go and try and make a move on Matej Hatala, and can he make it stick? He will do for now. Matej Hatala
Goodness gracious, head to the Beckett. Oh my gosh. Had to get on the brakes pretty heavy, gonna lose a little bit of a gap to Wes there. My gosh, heading down Hanger Straight, got a three car fight here. Michael Blom sitting a little far in the back.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. Lamborghini, Honda, Vert and Ford all fighting together.
Michael Blom riding the bottom of Stowe into Vale. Hard braking here down into the club corner. Hard. Trying to clip that inside line, clip it again on the exit. Full throttle out towards Hamilton Straight. Gosh, this is such a fun track to watch, man. It's so technical, especially these back corners. Stowe, Vale, and Club. They're so fun to watch these drivers make their way through. And a penalty, 5 seconds for Timofey Slobodnik. Across the pit exit line early. My goodness.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Slobodnik is disqualified. We did get that penalty notice earlier that Slobodnik was disqualified, but
I'm not seeing the DQ on the
changed.
On the pylon.
Yeah, it does look like Slobodnik has not been disqualified. So, but it has a lot of penalties we've been seeing as well. So
yes, got a long way to go today.
Long way to go indeed. P17 sits the Belarusian driver as we go on board with David Garcia, who does have that time penalty at Lamborghini, but still sitting in P9th, just behind of Marius Issinger and ahead of Samuel Henderson in the Porsche. It's not been a great race for him so far, has it?
Not so far. Still got a long way to go. But
oh
my gosh!
It's just got a lot worse. And
oh wow! That's wow. What did we do to this poor guy?
Yeah, it looks like he just lost control going into that corner.
And his bad day goes from bad to worse as he enters back onto the Hanger Straight.
Yeah, and Samuel Henderson getting a bit of that as well. Not too much though, thankfully, but looks like Wesley Michael Blom will be going into try and feed off of Garcia's error, although we'll get a time penalty.
Did not
Loss in collision, but I believe that might be reviewed because it didn't really spin, that lost control, so perhaps going in to the stewards' books for a review.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they call.
And now it's Wesley try and overtake Bashir, but not able to make that move going into Magus Baggett's. See the American looking to try and make that move stick. Meanwhile, on the bottom right of your screen, you can see some more coverage of races elsewhere, as Wesley will get that move through onto David Garcia, who, as Garcia does go wide, the Turk.
Back up to 10th. Wesley giving it everything he's got. Headed into Beckett's here. Gonna ride that bottom line into the gas fully. Out, back in. Woo.
And something to also just mention as we stay on board with Wesley, or go into a POV with Toby Issinger. Remember, it's his Silverstone debut, so big things are going to be expected of him, and he's got a time penalty as I say that, of course he has.
My goodness, we are cursing these poor guys. Time penalty.
Yeah, time penalty for Toby Issinger. Not too sure what for though. We'll relay the information to you as soon as we get it, but
I could imagine he's running really hard trying to catch this second place car and caused a collision. Hot dog. That's going to be a 15-second penalty for Mr. Issinger. The 222.
That's not going to stop him from fighting Power at Shareblam though for the second place, as he goes
fighting
to the
in
outside,
the loop.
looking towards the inside, but not able to make that stick. Shareblam with some good defense for now, but still
we'll
has
see if he can get close
riding
enough. Trying to break the draft down Wellington Straight.
Yeah,
gonna see if he can take the outside into Brooklands.
It's just sticking here, trying to maybe get onto
try and get
Shareblam's
that
back
run
here.
outside of Luffield here into Woodcott.
Now goes towards the old start-finish line, or the current start-finish line, I should say. No, it is the old start-finish line. I am a bit silly. Actually, no, I do believe. I'm not sure.
I think that is our start-finish line for this GT3 race. I think the new one is on the Hamilton Straight, I believe.
Yeah. But Issinger won't be able to get a look towards Shareblam now, because I do believe Issinger might be looking for this move down this straight, and might be able to get it if Shareblam.
Yep, down hanger straight into Stowe. He's going to take the outside line. Riding it on the outside. He's going to try and get into the gas early. Shareblam is able to get there first. He's going to have a run. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, but Issinger's not letting us go.
Going to shoot it onto the outside. In the club. Not able to make it quite, but a good effort. Going to try and stick with him down the Hamilton Straight.
Yeah, Issinger not getting it towards where he wants to, but still involved with Shareblam though. Shareblam not yet got the devil off his shoulder.
Pace.
Now has to defend really well.
Ooh, it's a little. Ooh, gosh, it looks so loose when he comes out of that corner. These guys are giving these machines everything they have on every lap. Man, I could watch this forever.
Yeah, and, I mean, we've still got another 2.5 hours left to watch.
Awesome.
So we'll be seeing how these fights goes. Just staying behind and looking to try and make that move onto Shareblam, who is defending well though, as Barrett Buduk, you see, caused a collision. Time penalty of 15 seconds.
15 seconds. Gosh, that's tough. Gonna send him further back.
Yeah, very tough for the Ferrari. Did not finish his previous race at Spa, but his last finish was P3 in Belgium, so for a
Toby Issinger
race,
right on the bumper.
See the bottom right of your screen, Wesley making that overtake onto Samuel Henderson, as the pit window will be opened now, and it looks like
Wesley
really
back up to 9th. doing good. He's coming.
Making progress, as is Marius, brother of Toby. Up into P7th, got ahead of Emil.
Toby is putting the pressure on Chevron. For sure. He has been right in his rear view this past couple laps, and he's making moves. Not successful moves yet, but he is making them.
Yeah, I want to ask you this, because when you have been under this much pressure for this long, I mean, how is Parrot Scherblam feeling?
Well, I'm nowhere near as good as these guys, but my personal experience, when someone's mirror driving you, you are absolutely more prone to mistakes. And as they come up on the number 30, oh my goodness, number 222 of Toby Issinger almost gets into the side of him. Oh my goodness, going through the club corner here. Yeah, the pressure makes a whole lot of difference, especially when you're up in front of the pack and you want to hold on to every position you can, and you see someone's hawking you down right in your mirror, you're going to get worried, and eventually you're probably going to make a mistake. Oh, and he slings it! Oh my gosh!
Yeah, I think Issinger didn't expect Scherblam to get rid of, or expect Scherblam to go onto the brakes that early, and so big dive that ended up with Issinger being very wide, but with that Ferrari managed to make that time back up, and here we go. Looks like it's this move now onto Toby Issinger, but not able to. Good defense from Scherblam again, as now there is a proper disqualification for Timofey Slobodnik, the Belarusian, who will be
take it on
confirmed
the
out of this race.
Ooh. My gosh. Issinger doing whatever he can, staying right behind Scherblam. This is a great battle for second place that we're seeing here.
Yeah, and as well, we've talked a lot about Toby Issinger and how he's trying to make moves, but we've talked less so about the amazing defending of Parrot Scherblam, who is...
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a masterclass in motorsport defending. He is doing
so well, and especially into his braking zones. He's not panicking, and he's hit. Look at, you can see there, he was not panicking at all. He hit his braking zone, maybe hit the curb just a little more farther than he would like to, but he's still managing his gap and doing what he needs to do to hold on to the second place position.
Yeah, everything that needs to be done, but meanwhile, Wesley van der Linden 6 seconds ahead of Scherblam, and that gap's only increasing the more Toby Issinger fights, and so it feels more like a fight for just for second for now, but we've seen so far this race that there's lots of mistakes can happen, and anyone can go spinning at any time, although we do not have any promiscuous weather yet. There's still overcast with a bit of sun. As Issinger's going to make the move now.
Side by side!
Side by side,
Heading
racing
down.
down the straight.
He should have advantage here into this corner. He's late on the brakes! And he's going to take second place away from Scherblam. A great move.
Yeah, Issinger, something he's worked on for a lot of laps, has finally paid off, and he's even got a little bit of a gap onto Scherblam now, who's not going to be able to instantly go back for that move.
Absolutely. You could see him setting up that move. He wanted to go for it a couple laps ago, but this time he got his run down the Wellington straight, got on the inside into Brooklands, and was able to take the position away. A great drive by Toby there.
Yeah, very well done to Toby Issinger. Now the pressure falls on him to defend it. As now Scherblam is relieved of a lot of that weight on the shoulders for now. But
he's free to run his race for now. Oh, I just got a peek of the leader. First time I've seen him in a hot minute. He is that far ahead. There he is. You can see him up in the top right up there.
Yeah, right. And we will just take a look at Issinger's move again as it comes up. Buduk, another 15-second penalty. I mean, this is fantastic. As Scherblam, this must be a bit hard, but just that late dive by Issinger has really worked out well.
And you can see, I mean, he was perfectly on the brakes. He didn't lock up or anything. That was a just masterclass of a move into Brooklands there.
Yeah, the German is setting the standard for the Issinger brothers. Is up Marius Issinger, the brother, in P7 right now after an early spin. As we go on board with the Dutch driver Michael Blom in the Lamborghini, who's tailgating Samuel Henderson in the Porsche. As Henderson goes wide,
Porsche.
Blom manages to make move, try and stick as they go side by side here, but Henderson has the better line for now. Switch back though. Looks to be Henderson still getting ahead.
Oh, gonna send it off track.
Blom send it off track, but hey, it worked. It gets into P10.
Hey,
Samuel Henderson gets left behind. There's penalty now for the 94 car. Yusuf F.A. Akinci causing a collision. Akinci currently finding himself in P15 in the McLaren, so it's not going to do too much. As we will be going into the rest of the race, and just over 2.5 hours left to go here at Silverstone. Wesley van der Linden is your race leader, followed by Toby Issinger in P2 and Harwit Sheablam in P3, Gail Sarabia P4, Mahan Rantawa in P5, rounding up the top 5 positions as Marius Issinger has, well, I was going to say has lost that 8th place position, but it's still 7th. It is Ben Namey is the one that Issinger's chasing, and is definitely a lot of pace for Issinger, something that he's been really known for in that Ferrari. Hey, that's staple. As now he looks to try and catch up to McLaren of Ben Namey.
That's a name we haven't really talked too much about today. Mr. Namey.
Yeah, I mean, Namey doing well, P6. Has sort of just raced his race in the background whilst all the actions happened around him, but
hey, that's what you'd like to see. If you're a driver, the last thing you want is to be talked about on the broadcast most of the time, because normally that can come with some consequences.
Yes, indeed, and there will be a time penalty, it seems, from Michael Blom. I think it was for that overtake where he did go off track.
Yeah, he got all 4 tires off the track there. I wasn't for sure that that would be a penalty, but I can absolutely see why it is. Absolutely.
Yeah, and so
Marius Issinger coming. Done got almost to the back bumper of Mr. Namey here.
Yeah, I mean, this is just doing so well. His race pace has been fantastic so far. Issinger looks on the inside, but blocked away by Namey. Yeah, Ben Namey saying no. And it is Michael Blom 10-second time penalty for that overtake. As we keep with Marius Issinger, who looks to try and make this move stick onto Ben Namey, but Ben Namey's going to have to defend really well.
He's defending well, but this is what we were talking about earlier with that window driving. When someone gets this close to you, it's putting a lot of pressure, and sometimes it's hard to keep your eyes on top of the racetrack and not in your mirror. A lot of drivers can get preoccupied with what's going on behind them, and that can lose them the position because they're just not paying attention to what's going on track. It's a very delicate balancing act. You have to put your full focus into both defending and both driving a fast lap, and it's an extremely difficult thing to do.
Yeah,
and Issinger is tired of waiting around.
That move now. And that move is made. P6 for Marius Issinger as Ben Namey slips behind the B7, but can look to go for him again as there's a late break from Namey, but I don't think he's going to be able to match the pace of the Ferrari as Marius Issinger, the German, wins the battle of the P3s as Issinger, if you remember correctly, P3 in his last Silverstone race, and Ben Namey P3 at Barcelona in his previous race. So, well, the P3 since one by Issinger who got P3 here. So, although Ben Namey might not be willing to let that die just yet.
And our best lap coming from Van der Linden with a 1:59.150. It's quick.
Yeah.
Trying to see
incredible
who's
pace.
Running the best lap now. He's still Van der Linden running the best lap on the track.
Yeah, 1:59.1 is incredible. 4/10 ahead of Toby Issinger. 1:59.5 is the German.
Yeah, let's ride with our leader for a second here. See how he's driving this track.
We do see Mate Atala getting a time penalty for pushing someone off the track. The Honda driver not doing too well. He's been in that mid-pack for a while, and now with a time penalty, really messes the race up.
Yeah. Here he comes. Here's your leader, folks. Hard braking into the club.
And Wesley van der Linden is a name that's synonymous with FGM at this point. Been in so many races, is a veteran of this, and you can definitely see that compared to people that are making their Silverstone debuts and people like Patrick Olsen who are making their full debut for FGM. Just see the gap in quality.
Through the village curve. Man, that boy is fast. Second place. Toby Issinger right behind him. 4.1 seconds behind. Trying to make up that gap.
Yeah, considering that gap was 6 seconds, Issinger's actually done a phenomenal job to catch up with him and do that good. As Barrett Buduk at 10-second time penalty again for causing a collision.
Toby Issinger actually ran a 5/10 faster lap than your leader. That last run, or that last lap, he keeps running like that. He's gonna catch him in a couple. He'll be there.
Yeah, Wesley van der Linden hasn't felt much pressure so far after qualifying, but now...
Yeah, watch. Woo! He's coming. He's already knocked it down to 3.8.
Yeah, I mean, van der Linden qualified P3, just behind Wesley, and Power Scheierblam is overtaken both of them and has held the lead out for a long time, but now gonna have to see what he can do, as we do have Peter in Kinchi in the McLaren, Yusuf Efer Kinchi with his pit stop.
Also keep an eye out for Wesley. Up to 8th now.
Yeah,
still running such fast laps.
Yeah, I mean, you've got Wesley and Marius Issinger in the mid-pack after some collisions earlier on, but these are more than capable drivers of getting back up into a high position, and that's exactly what they've done.
Yeah,
now, I think
5:44, fastest car on track right now. Last lap he ran a 1:59.797. That is almost a full second faster than your leader.
Yeah, I mean, incredible stuff. And meanwhile, someone who we haven't really talked about, Mahan Randhawa, who is in that BMW, has kept 5th place for most of the 2-minute lap. 2.3 lap is the best that he has done.
Running well
and
so
really,
far.
Yeah,
really
good race pace. And you know, it's easy to try and climb or climb up, climb down the board, but to keep the position isn't exactly the easiest thing to do. Mahan Randhawa doing a great job of it so far, but the devil behind him, Marius Issinger, to try and
he's fast
climb
too.
into top 5.
Best lap of 1:59.757. He's got a chance too. If most of these guys can just keep it clean, there is no telling who is going to be here at the end.
Yes,
These guys are killing it.
Oh, I think he made a mistake with that braking just now, and that's just to climb towards him even more, as Issinger, the German, is going to fight with one half of the other set of brothers. Canadian brothers versus German brothers, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Let's see.
Through.
Go.
Baggett's now.
High speed
Into
zone.
Beckett's. Woo.
Look, this game
Randhawa
slowed right
getting
down.
up. Issinger gonna take advantage of both of them. He's gonna shoot it up the middle. He's gonna have the inside line going into Stowe.
Yeah,
What a move by Marius Issinger there.
I believe that was Lotus Lucian who sat in P15, who wasn't the blue flags, but just couldn't get out of the way and ended up slowing down Randhawa. Very much so, and allows
Marius Issinger capitalized on that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I think the stewards might have to take a look at Lotus Lucian's conduct there.
Yeah.
But for Issinger, it doesn't really
play.
matter.
Whoa! And behind them, we got a car going wide over the bumps. This is a messy part of the track here, guys.
Yeah, this is a very scrappy part of the track. Only only half an hour in, well 40 minutes in nearly. We're seeing a lot of scraps, we've seen a fair few disqualifications already.
Seems like it's calmed down a bit on the penalties. We're not having 2 penalties per lap now. That's really, really good.
Progress, guys, progress.
Yes. We'll take one every other lap.
Yeah.
Now look at Toby Isinger up there, done cut the lead down to 3.1. Oh no, he spoke one into existence. Number 94, Yusuf F.A. Nkinsi with a time penalty.
Yeah, time penalty. I'm not sure if that was something to do with the pits or not. Because he was in the pit, although I believe that was a long while ago, so most likely wasn't. But as you were saying with Toby Isinger, great drive so far. He keeps knocking down those tenths of seconds. And is getting so much closer to Van der Linden now that maybe we could be seeing a Toby Isinger P1 soon.
I'll tell you what, that'd be very interesting. I really want to see how Van der Linden handles someone hawking him down, someone right in his mirror. See if he can still maintain this lead with somebody. He hasn't really felt much pressure today. I want to see it.
Yeah, indeed. Is very carefree life led by the Dutchman at first, but now has Isinger in the Ferrari coming towards him, red hot. Now that
you got to think at this point, we've been racing 40 minutes. These guys, a third of the way through, at what point does your arm start burning? What point does your heart start sweating? And at what point does your decisions get outweighed by how tired you are? At what point does the physical aspect come in during this race, do you think?
Yeah, that's a really good question actually, especially considering how we're doing this at night. People have had a day to go and do whatever. So it's going to be interesting to see how their mentality holds up. But we will be taking a look now at that Isinger move from Marius Isinger.
Into Beckett's.
We can see Lotus Lucian in front.
Getting up. Isinger gonna take advantage of both of them. He's gonna shoot it up the middle. He's gonna have the.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lotus Lucian, I think there, and does get the block. I think he actually blocks both of them, but it's that first block into Rantawa that just allows Isinger to get back in.
It looks like Mahan went a little wide there. He could have. I mean, I don't know, but he might have been able to fall in behind the lap car. I'm not sure, but looks just like a mess. And Isinger came out on top of that one.
Yeah, and here's Michael Blom in that Lamborghini, to put some pressure onto Emil Antonsson, the Swede, who is making his Silverstone debut as well. A second place finish in Spa shows that he can deal with some pressure, but how about from a veteran of the game here in Michael Blom, previous Silverstone winner and a winner at his most previous race in Spa. There's Michael Blom. Look how much pressure he's putting onto Emil Antonsson here.
Right on his back bumper.
See Michael Blom now just staying, riding the time, waiting for perhaps a straight, and he's going to get one now and looks
there it is.
The inside of Michael Blom.
We're going to see he's going to break later, and he is going to take that away. Yes.
Yeah, and I think Antonsson just didn't want that fight there. He said, you know what, you can have it, Michael Blom. I don't really want to fight. I'm in worst case scenario, I'm P10, 10-second gap. It's fine. I'll take this and just continue my race.
Absolutely, and especially sometimes that can be the strategy. If someone is obviously faster than you, let them by. Follow them, see what they're doing better than you, and seeing where you can make up some time in relation to them. Because if they're faster than you, obviously there's something you can learn.
Yeah, and something else I want to ask you as well, Hunter, is, with how many disqualifications and penalties we've seen, is there also that bit of fear whenever you're making an overtake or someone is overtaking you?
Absolutely. There is always that fear, because you can have the most faith in yourself and you do not know what that guy in that other car is going to do. So when you go to make that move, there is always that possibility that you two are not quite on the same page. There's contact, and either you get a penalty or you could even wreck and ruin your race. So you really have to time and make your decisions. You have to use your brain. Absolutely.
And speaking of crashes, we see a victim of one from earlier on. Wesley qualified in the pole position, but now falling down to P7 after that incident. Has done well to climb back up though.
Yeah, he's coming. Back up to 7th now. I'm telling you, Wesley is going to be here at the end of this race.
And we'll go back to Toby Issinger because he is
here we go.
Of this. Wesley van der Linden is less than a second, I believe that was, or a second and a half away from Toby Issinger. What a drive so far from the Ferrari driver, but now has to make it stick against Wesley van der Linden, who is not a name to be laughed at.
Ooh, hits the curb a little there. Don't know if that'll slow him down too much. But Toby putting on a heck of a drive so far to even catch this leader. He was gone. Toby said, "Nuh-uh." Sniffing him.
Yeah, I believe.
Right on his tail. 1 second between them.
Yeah, I believe it was about 8 seconds, the gap between, or I believe it was 6 seconds actually, the gap between Issinger and van der Linden when Issinger made that move onto Sheerblam, and is cut down 5 seconds, and he's only cutting down more time, at sub-second now away from Wesley van der Linden as we look to
race for the lead, folks. Here we go.
Yeah, 45 minutes in, we have a race for the lead between Toby Issinger and Wesley van der Linden. The two Ferraris, P1, P2, who will come out here on top, and you know, all the precursors say it's going to be Toby Issinger.
Oh man, I wouldn't count anybody out at this point. We still got 2 hours to go. Gosh. Man, my heart rate's getting up. I couldn't imagine these guys.
Yeah, but
gosh, buddy.
With Toby Issinger, as fast as that Ferrari can be, or his setup can be on corners, it's not got that straight speed, and I think that's how he's put so much ground on the other cars, because Silverstone, as you mentioned, very technical circuit, lots of corners, not many straights, and van der Linden, I think he might have just gone for the wrong build here.
Possibly, because he's losing time badly. I don't know how much of a battle it will be once Toby catches him, because it looks to me like Toby is simply just faster.
Yes, he looks to make a very late breaking move onto van der Linden. But it doesn't.
And you can see both of them taking different lines through the corners. Same car, different lines, different drivers. It is so fun to watch, because not every driver has the same line. Of course, there's a racing line, but every driver is going to drive a track differently. And Toby, talk about different. Ooh. He is on his tail.
That was a big lunge, and something I'd love to see as well, especially for these two, is like the exact specs of the cars, because it's obviously you can say, well, Wesley van der Linden set up for straight line racing, whereas this is just set up on the corners. But I'd love to see the exact specs and how they change between the two drivers as well. Wesley van der Linden wants that to go a bit wide, and it only allows Issinger to close the gap.
Yeah, it would be awesome to know exactly what they're running right now. Oh, that'd be so cool. Outside.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Wesley van der Linden, he's now got so much pressure. 4/10 of a second is Toby Issinger away from van der Linden, so we're going to be seeing a battle for first. Yeah, it's synonymous with Toby this race, as we will be seeing this battle for first in a matter of seconds, minutes, I don't know, but if you are watching this, can get a hype, get prepared, because this is one hell of a battle for first place.
It's amazing. You really can't ask for anything better. Two extremely talented fellas giving it literally everything they got across a historic circuit. Man, come on. This is the best thing I've seen all day. Just look at them go. Oh, incredible driver cam. This is awesome.
We get the onboard with Toby Issinger, who has lost a little bit of time, not too much though, as see in the bottom right of your screen, Lotus Lucian, with that drive-through penalty, will now be serving it.
Right on his bumper, coming through. Out onto the Wellington Straight, down to Brooklands. This is where we saw one of our big moves earlier in the race. Toby not close enough to make it work here.
Yeah, and this is going to be the thing with Van der Linden is you've just got to keep that position in that corners, because on the straights you know you're faster. So it's not about getting away from Issenger in the corners, it's about staying first and defending from him. But I think soon we could see that change to just make sure he doesn't get too far away, because Toby Issenger looks to try and make the move.
He's thinking about it.
Van der Linden blocks the first,
thinks better.
but Issenger's still there and looks to be going out onto the outside. But Van der Linden's on the defence here as he goes towards the inside of Magnus and Beckett. And
through the technical points.
Warded off for now. But it's going to be looking to come right back at Wesley Van der Linden soon enough, and it could be right here.
In through the Chapel curve, down onto Hanger Straight. Toby thinking, not going to quite have the move here.
Yeah, look, Van der Linden's braked a lot more than I think he needed to. I think that's just a ward away Issenger for a bit, just to give him some breathing room. But, I mean, Issenger, we've seen how fast he can be in the corners.
On the brakes into the club corner. Oh my gosh, man. Hard on those brakes.
It's what I love as well about Toby Issenger. He's not afraid to brake late and go for those dive bombs. Even if it doesn't work out into a position gained, it's worked in terms of getting that time difference down and putting so much pressure and onto Wesley Van der Linden, trying to make him make the mistake instead of Issenger.
And we got a time penalty, 5 seconds for Lotus Lucian.
Yeah, Lotus Lucian not having.
Sorry, I was so busy. I'm so ingrained on the battle for the lead. I wasn't even looking at the top of the screen.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
It's difficult to really be thinking of anything else when we've got this amazing battle here as Issenger looks towards the outside.
Right on his bumper!
There is a bit of contact, I think, between Issenger and Van der Linden. Not much though, as actually it will be Van der Linden going towards the pits, and so it's Toby Issenger to take P1 at Silverstone.
To the lead.
Van der Linden, I mean, do you reckon there was a tactical choice for that pit stop, considering how close Issenger was getting, or?
Either it was tactics or it was nerves, man, because if Toby Issenger was riding my behind like that, man, I'd be so nervous. Especially with how fast he was. Man.
Yes, and so Wesley Van der Linden will be serving the mandatory pit stop here, as Issenger will be going into P1, Parrot Scherblam in P2, and Gael Sarabia P3. The Mexican has been able to keep his position for a long time, and will be rewarded for now, but still has to serve his mandatory pit stop, as we are just over 2 hours left in the FGM Silverstone race, as we now go on board with Parrot Scherblam, who hasn't really had much to say this race, as Gareth Sarabia goes very wide. Another McLaren who hasn't had much to say this race, has just allowed the action to go on ahead of them.
Sometimes that's what you want to do, man. Let all the chaos get sorted out, and you be there for when it matters.
Yeah, and you know, we were speaking in the pre-show, especially about Parrot Scherblam. Now, 4th at our Silverstone and a P3 at the most recent race in Barcelona. It's an upgrade on P3 for Parrot Scherblam. Is it a case of trying to get towards Issenger now, or is it a case of just trying to stay in P2?
Well, considering the fact it doesn't look to me that he has much pressure behind him, I would assume Scherblam's main goal now is to run fast laps, make up any gap you can, because I imagine what's going through his head is Toby going to back off? Is Toby going to continue to run these super fast laps? But Scherblam, it is his chance now, with a lot of open track ahead of him, to make up some ground Personally, I wouldn't just be happy with holding my position in second place. I would be going for broke, but that's just me. And we got a replay coming up here.
Yeah, we do have a replay of a move elsewhere as we see Michael Blom spinning out on the track, 8th place. The Lamborghini driver will be falling behind.
Yep, he's going to fall down to 9th.
Yeah, not too bad for Lamborghini driver, but I think may have just lost it on the turn. But we will be bringing you that replay of that move that's happened off camera. Here's Davut Gashir and Samuel Henderson in the Porsche. As Gashir, it's a really lovely move. Henderson left a lot of room on the inside, but looking to try and go for the switchback. As Gashir defends that inside really well. Blocked off Henderson. And here we are with Mate Hatala now.
In the Honda.
Who is
beautiful NSX.
P14. Beautiful NSX, and that livery very nice as well. But very nice move there from Gashir onto Samuel Henderson, who has been falling down the rankings in that Porsche. Now sits P12. Definitely a world away from likes of Parrot Sherblam and Gail Sarabia, who are in and of themselves a world away from Toby Issinger. So there's a fair few worlds we've created at Silverstone today.
And we were just talking about Sherblam. Look who's here. Gail Sarabia. He's catching him. Only about a second behind now.
Yeah, the Mexican looking for some more fights here now is definitely someone to keep an eye on throughout all of them, especially considering he was second in his previous Silverstone. But P10 finish at Barcelona on Friday definitely leaves a lot for the Mexican to be decided for. Is now looks to be making better on that previous race as P3. A lot better already, but could be P2.
Could be. And he's trying. But I don't believe Sherblam's going to make it very easy for him. Sherblam he has impressed me. Especially the way he has... It feels like he saw the pressure coming from Gale here, and he has stepped it up. He's running.
Yeah, we were speaking about on the pre-race about watching Sherblam, the Thai driver, and just seeing how he runs. But that qualifying was excellent. Couldn't make that jump
no,
to
you couldn't have
P1,
wrote it
but I
any
believe
better. You could not have written a better script for his qualifying. That was amazing.
I believe Sherblam went from like P7 to P2 in the qualifying, or somewhere around that margin. But
at the very last second, it was amazing.
Yeah, he's been able to keep P2 for all this time, but
ooh, and Gale
under some pressure
up on the bumper.
Yeah, Gail Sarabia now looking to try and force Sherblam into the mistake and really get onto the bumper of the Thai driver, who again isn't someone to be laughed at and taken.
I believe Gale's into his rhythm now, hitting very good laps. I've seen Sherblam, not that he's not hitting his marks, he's driving a little wide in some places. I'll try and point it out if I see it again. But I do believe...
not too far from Sarabia and Sherblam, we have Marius Issinger in P4, spun out a lot earlier in the race, but was
oh goodness! And we've got a spin!
Sherblam and Sarabia. I'm not sure if there was contact or if Sherblam just spun, but all of that work that Sherblam put in now.
Yeah, we'll see the replay on that soon.
Wow. Issinger now goes up to P2 as Sarabia decides to take his pit stop now, but huge mistake from Sherblam.
In the 1 and 2, Issinger and Issinger. I'm going to have to make sure I say their first name.
Marius
incredible.
And Toby. But
Marius and Toby. Got it. Marius
really unlucky for Parrot Sherblam, who is also going to be heading to the pit lane alongside Gail Sarabia. But very unlucky after such a good race. We were picking him up as well. It's the curse of the caster. But
I guess so.
I mean, look who else has now got into the top 5. Wesley is now P3 after starting.
I told you
P1.
he's coming,
Mahan
man. That dude is fast.
Mahan Randhawa, Canadian, in P4 with Ben Namey now P5. Is Randhawa, by the Randhawa brothers, I think we were expecting his brother Isha Wantawa to be here today, but unfortunately not able to make it, so doing himself proud, and his brother proud, I hope. E4 currently in that BMW is now watch Wesley, who has been in some amazing races recently.
We've got a lot of variety in the top 6 as well. 2 Ferraris, a Ford, BMW, 1 McLaren, 1 Lamborghini. Awesome variety. Love to see it.
And here's Wesley van der Linden, our previous first place. Now in P8th after taking a pit stop, but still has that best race lap, 159.1. Amazing lap from the Ferrari. Now having to fight his way up. And looking to do that with a fight with Michael Blom is Miguel Sarabia will get a time penalty. There was contact, it seems, between him and Sherblom. So a 10-second time penalty for the number 2. And it's a harsh way to have that race, and I think it's one that's deserved, but we will be having another look at that incident and just seeing what it was, because I wasn't sure if there was contact between the two or whether Sherblom just lost it, but go to the replay now and just see it, but I think it might have just been a little nudge on the back of the corner.
Ooh, and
Marius
Isinger. Pit stop.
And Marius
gonna pit from second place.
P2 will go for that pit stop.
And Wesley, through the power of good lap times, has made his way into second place.
Yeah, second place
just
for the
incredible,
driver.
Incredible performance. Just to get a penalty on lap 1 and to be almost back where you started in under 30 laps. Just incredible. Great drive from Wesley today.
Mahan Wantawa in the P3, getting into the podium positions for the first time this race. As you can see at the top of your screen, Budak will be going into the pits for his mandatory pit stop. I believe we did have that replay for the incident between Sherblom and Sarabia already. Here it is.
Here it
see,
is.
and yeah.
Oh, yep. Got into the back of him, spun him around.
Yes, Sarabia. Just too much pace on that.
Sherblom got the short end of the stick on that one. That's tough. Hopefully, he's got plenty of time to make up those spots. Just hate to see 2 cars get together.
Yeah,
it's tough.
now P10
tough.
for Sherblom is where he resides, but it is not as bad as it could have been for the tyre driver, as they are on board with Wesley van der Linden.
Too bad damage or anything. Wesley van der Linden working really hard, running a almost 2-minute flat lap less run.
Yeah, and you can see the bottom right
fastest on track
screen as well.
Wesley.
Toby Isinger now in pits as well, taking his pit stop, which means Wesley will go up back to P1 behind Rantawa in P2 and Ben Namey in P3 and the McLaren. So a wide range of cars. There's actually no double cars in the top 5. Toby Isinger still technically 4th place for now. Michael Blom in the Lamborghini will be about to overtake him, but still, no, there's no doubles. Wesley van der Linden in the Ferrari, Michael Blom in the Lamborghini, Namey in the McLaren, Rantawa in the BMW, and Wesley in the Ford. So, a very wide range and selection as Emil Antonsen also goes to the pits.
Absolutely, and from my point of view, I think the Ferraris are probably the best cars on the track, just from what I've seen. Maybe they have the best drivers, but Wesley in that Ford, that's your driver. That's the one you're gonna. That's who I'm putting my money on here.
Yeah, Wesley, incredible drive in that Ford, has really made that his own. And I think Wesley was sort of known as a bit of a Lexus driver, a bit of a Lexus master, I should say, but now I think we might have to add Ford into that equation as well, as we did see there Michael Blom taking a bit of a wide line and now Wesley van der Linden's going to be right on the bumper of the Lamborghini driver. But it doesn't look like Dutchman is going to be able to make the move yet anyway.
Hard into the Abbey. Goodness, you can see them slide a little bit.
Yeah, Mikael Blom, former winner at Silverstone.
Wesley making up a lot of time through Village and through Aintree down Wellington Straight. We'll see if Wesley's going to try and take this position away.
Yeah, Wesley van der Linden is a veteran, as we were mentioning earlier, of not only Silverstone but of Full Grip itself. And so, I mean, he was P2 in his last Silverstone. Unfortunately, P8 at Barcelona is his last race on Friday as Mikael Blom gets loose going into that turn, is given all the keys to the castle to Wesley van der Linden, who will just about make that move on the inside of the Lamborghini driver, and so looks to make it stick. Oh, it's contact between the two.
Ooh.
As van der Linden goes very tight to Mikael Blom. There is a little bit of contact. I believe van der Linden just went too early trying to block off the Lamborghini driver, but Mikael Blom actually looking to maybe go back for seconds, and looks to do just so as we go into Magnus and Beckett. But now Mikael Blom just not able to get the power down as van der Linden now goes up to P3 after Ben Lamey's pit stop. Actually, Blom has the speed here.
Michael Blom.
This could be big.
You could see Wesley there later on the brakes than Michael. Oh, Michael Blom getting loose. Trying to get that car underneath him a little too hard on the gas. He's going to lose some time.
Yeah, and there's the same thing that happened that allowed Wesley van der Linden to get into P3. And it's the same thing that's cost Michael Blom a second chance of that fight. Just being too loose into that corner and carrying too much speed, not being able to get that grip down. You know, you just see top of the screen.
Aggressive.
Still 21 degrees. I believe the temperature has fallen down a bit, but still overcast. No signs of rain yet. And as well, it's England, so no sign of the clouds actually clearing up. But it's probably the best weather we'll get.
This is about as good as it gets, right?
Yeah, apart from when it's too hot. I'll tell you that first-hand experience.
Oh, God.
But as well, I would like to mention, we saw Toby Istinger go for the pit stop earlier on. He's now come out P5. And, you know, I mean, it feels like it's just a matter of time before he cuts down that deficit, as Mahanwan Kawa will be in the pit stop for his mandatory pit. The BMW driver will be there and will lose out on P2. It's going to be interesting to see how
penalty
he does coming back out, as Samuel Henderson in the Porsche gets the time penalty for crossing the pit lane exit. 5 seconds for Porsche, and that is, I mean, that's a lot of time penalties given out in this race. There's 4 right now in our current crew of 14, as we have had some more retirements. But I mean,
our leader Wesley from the back to the front.
I mean, it was from the front to the back and then back to the front, so
yeah, that's even crazier.
Fair play to Wesley, and he has, I believe, taken his mandatory pit stop, so won't need to take another pit stop yet anyway. But 3-hour race may leave some complications later on. And so
if he doesn't
I'll
take another one, those tires, who knows what they'll be like near the end of this race.
Yeah, I was about to ask you as well, is, you know, for most of the drivers it's going to be a 2-stop strategy, isn't it? But is there a chance that there could be a 3-stop somewhere?
For Wesley, I mean, the
just for
only
anyone,
possibility
really
I could really see for a 3-stop strategy without losing too much pace would be for our faster drivers. They could, I believe they could make it work, especially with fresh tires and other things like that. But I'd say stick to a 2 unless you are Wesley and you can make your way back up, or Wes or Wesley, either one. I bet they could make it work, but I'd stick to a 2.
Yeah,
but then again,
indeed.
I really don't know how bad the tire wear is for these cars on this track. I don't know how bad it's going to get. So that is something that is going to be very fun to watch. See how much grip these guys lose and watch the lap times fall as these tires wear.
Yeah, I mean, you already saw Michael Blom struggling with the tyres to get grip down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe he has actually taken his pit stop yet. So it's going to be interesting to see when he chooses to do that. But Wesley taking the pit stop, got those tyres. And there is a drive-through penalty for Gail Sarabia now. I'm not sure if that was related to the earlier incident with Shea Blum or whether it was something else now. There is a drive-through penalty for the Mexican number 2 driver. And it's a day that's gone from bad to worse for a lot of these drivers. And that it feels indiscriminate of...
It's gotten worse for a lot of them, that's for sure.
Yeah, and we've seen that in the disqualifications as well. 2 disqualifications this race. Timofey Slobodnik, the Belarusian driver, disqualified for a lot of blue flag and breakages. And the American driver, Patrick Olsen in the Bentley, in his full debut, ends with a disqualification after causing a lot of collisions as we go on board with Marius Issinger, who is behind Sarabia, and his brother Toby Issinger. And I think it'd be nice for Marius to get into that P5 and just say hello to his brother.
Yeah, gotta love it when the brothers race together. Whoa, big slide there from Marius. Got it back under him though.
Yeah, let's actually goes into the grass there, and we'll get word in our ears that there is that the drive-through penalty for Gail Sarabia was for track cutting. So it's unfortunate for the Mexican, but we've got rules are rules for a reason.
Yep, and he's pretty fast too. I wouldn't really worry. We'll see him again.
Yes, indeed. Still now 50 to go as Sarabia
running low twos.
Yeah, Sarabia takes off into the pit lane for the drive-through penalty. Is now it will be Issinger 5-6.
Yeah, for Sarabia that got that penalty, his last lap was only 0.005 slower than his fastest lap, so I wouldn't be too worried about him at all. I think he'll be just fine. Oh, and another penalty. Wow, what another curse.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there is another penalty or if it's because Sarabia is actually back out onto the field now, so might have actually just changed into a time penalty rather than a drive through.
Maybe so.
Or a pit. Maybe so. We're not sure. But there is going to be a penalty from Mahan Wantar with a Canadian drive-through penalty for the BMW driver. Not sure what for, but I'm sure we'll get back to that just in a second. As Issinger looks to be trying to approach Toby Issinger, just saying hello. How are you, brother? But here's a good question for you here. Do Toby and Marius look to work together here, or do they treat each other as like they're no, they're not brothers on this track?
I don't believe so. Oh, speaking of Toby hitting the curb a little bit there, especially in a race like this, I don't believe so, my man. I don't believe they're going to be friendly at all. Will they give each other grace? Maybe. But when it comes down to it, I honestly wouldn't doubt if these two raced each other harder than they were racing anyone else. Oh, Toby Issinger off the track.
Yeah, now that's getting a bit worrying for Toby Issinger. A few mistakes popping up here and there, which Marius is using to his advantage. Maybe try and climb up the rankings. Still P4, P5 though. The top 3 right now. Wesley in first place in the Ford. Wesley van der Linden second, with Toby Issinger P3 as Michael Blom will go to the pits in the Lamborghini.
Taking
you can see there
his
as well. Yeah, will be, I believe. As you can also see as well, Parrot Scherblam now in P5 after that spin. So from P10 to P5, it's not a bad drive from the tie, but still need to do a lot more try and get back to P2.
And Sarabia sitting in
well.
6th after that drive-through too. He's doing pretty well.
Yeah, Sarabia doing a good job as Mahan Wantawa will be setting the drive-through penalty. Mikhail Blom will be going for that pit stop as Wesley is actually going to go into the pits again. Maybe he hadn't served that first.
He might be on the 3-stop like we were talking about. I believe he's fast enough to get it done. Especially
yeah,
if...
take that first pit stop or not. I actually, like, the more I think about it now, the more I don't believe he did. So maybe this is the mandatory pit stop.
Yes, this might be his official pit stop. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I believe that first penalty was he did not do his actual stop.
Yeah, well, either way, Wesley van der Linden will capitalise, and you can see him driving by Wesley to take back P1. But we've seen before how quickly that can crumble, especially when Toby Issinger is right behind you. And this looks like deja vu. I think I've seen this earlier on, have we not? Wesley van der Linden with a 15-second gap to Toby Issinger. And Toby Issinger in P2 with time to make up. I mean, surely this can't happen twice in a race, can it? Especially not with this gap.
And I bet it will. Toby is lightning fast.
I mean, we'll go with Wesley now, but we do have that replay for the drive-through penalty for Mahan Wantawa. As Wesley goes to the grass a bit, but we will see BMW drivers. And it is 3 points this.
Right there. Yep, you can see it. All 4 tires off track. That's a penalty every day of the week.
Yeah, and Wantawa, I believe all 3 of these have actually gone into... yeah.
Oh, and cutting corner right there, too. Goodness.
Yeah, you can see it adds up quickly, and especially when it's that small of a time frame. Makes sense to why there was that drive-through penalty. Here is Wesley, who is just about ahead of Power Sherblam. Yep. You can see Sherblam in the back, and I believe that is Buduk the back. No, that's actually... sorry, that's not Buduk. That is actually David Garcia. Not David Garcia in the Lamborghini. You can see in the background, but Power Sherblam could make a leap into P4. Get the position halfway to the position he was in earlier.
Trailing behind Wesley. It's a hard car to pass. I'll tell you what, I would love to be following him, though, just seeing the way he's driving. And it's not just the way he's driving, it's how consistent Wesley has been throughout this entire race. Hitting his marks, not messing up, being able to run a consistent, about 2-minute lap time. He's doing great.
Yeah, but Sherblam as well is, I don't want to say in that mid-range of drivers, but is definitely not been one to talk about really until a spin by Sarabia, but has been racing very well so far. Able to keep that second, and even when he came under pressure from Sarabia, you looked to defend well and looked to try and get him where it hurts, and he was doing a great job of it.
Yeah, with Sherblam, you can, especially if you watch the difference between Wesley and Sherblam. I've seen Sherblam make not many, but just a couple mistakes. Wesley, besides whatever happened on the start that gave him his penalty, I have not seen him really do many things bad, and that's really the key point in endurance racing. It's not about being the fastest necessarily. It's about being the most consistent. Because if, let's say, another person is running like a way fast lap time, but they burn all their tires off and they have nothing left, their time is going to drop by a couple seconds. But the driver that can maintain his equipment and run a strictly consistent lap time, you're going to see a lot, or you're going to see a better result at the end of the race. especially with an extremely long race like this one.
Wow, we've been talking about this. Marius Issinger following just behind Toby Issinger, just about a second behind his brother, and he's going to look to try and reclaim, well, I want to say reclaim, but I don't actually believe he's been P2 this race so far, so it will just be a claim on that P2 for the first time from Marius Issinger. But this is a really interesting dynamic as well, and it's going to be a really interesting fight we've seen. We're talking about the brother aspects, but let's talk about some of the experience, because I think when you would ask people about who is more experienced, they'd say Marius. I mean, Marius, incredible driver. We've seen him a lot. P3 in his previous Silverstone race, but has been up around the top of competition for such a long while. But meanwhile, Toby, I mean, does not have that same prestige, I want to say, but especially considering he's making his Silverstone debut, winning his last race at Suzuka. We were talking about form earlier on. I mean, that's a good way to set up some form and maybe try and set about that prestige coming into a battle with your brother.
Absolutely, and you have to wonder how much Marius has taught his brother, or vice versa, you know? Just having that shared knowledge, especially between a sibling of yours, it just makes both of you better.
Yes, and maybe
Out of
and we can see Marius just trying to gain, still just about a second away from his brother. He's
just
now
trailing along, almost halfway through.
Yes, and I think what we'll point out as well was Toby Issinger cut down that gap between him and Van der Linden by 3 seconds so far, so there is a will. We still have an hour and 40 left to go, so there's plenty of time for that gap to keep shrinking.
And the Issinger brothers, they're coming.
Yeah, but the question is, will there be a third party coming here as well, or even better, will there be more pit stops to try and throw the upper class out of position? You can just see with Marius Issinger there. I mean, such good racing.
Lee coming up in fourth. We got word that his penalty on the start was for being out of position. I do remember seeing that. He was a little further ahead than the field.
Yeah, not a great way to be at the start, but still not a bad race so far. P4, hour 40 left to go, so still time for him to go through. And as well, the drive-throughs for number 2 and the number 7 cars were for track limits, so again, it happens. And the 2 and the 7 cars for Gabriel Sarabia and Mahan Rantawa for track limits, which we saw with Rantawa. And we do have a new fastest lap, as we see. We're just talking about now, but it is Wesley, the new fastest lap of the race, with a 1:59.087. So,
holy cow!
He's catching.
That's almost wow. That's a second faster than Van der Linden is running in the lead of the race. Almost two whole seconds faster. Wow!
Tenth of a second.
Yeah,
I should say, not 2 seconds. That would be very much excessive.
That'd be crazy.
That would be insane. But
they pulled out like a LMP1 or something.
What was that like? The what was the car that did that? Was like the world's fastest. I can't remember what it's called. They had like, the rocket booster.
I don't remember what it's called either. I know what you're talking about though.
I hope the fans all know what I'm talking about here. Look at David Gassier, who I believe is trying to make a move onto Emil Antonsson here, and will get that move done fairly easily.
Yes,
and
he will.
Antonsson's really gone with a pacifist approach here. Has not really been defending much those positions, and it's costing him dearly.
Yeah, I haven't seen him fight too hard today.
Yeah, it's questionable from the Swede, but meanwhile, Toby's
Marius
still fighting, and Toby goes wide, and this has opened the door very far for Marius to come in. Maybe not on this turn, but with the deficit, the gap reducing to 0.2 of a second. This is going to be incredible stuff if Marius can overtake his brother. I don't want to say late on in the race, but around about the halfway point, as you see Toby just riding with the curbs. They're going wide again, all 4 tyres off the track, and it's not good again from Toby. Here's Marius now coming down. But the thing is as well, you don't want to fight for too long because you still want to try and catch up to Wesley van der Linden. And so for Toby, this is a nightmare because as much as you are trying to cut down this 11.5 second deficit towards the Dutch driver, you're also having to fight someone behind you. And not only are you fighting someone behind you, it's your brother.
And the more you fight, the more time we're losing. Oh, and Marius is going to... Looks like he's going to take the outside approach into this corner, getting alongside him.
Looking towards the outside, and Marius
clears him on the straight.
Yeah, Marius goes through. Toby led.
Amazing.
Marius go by a little bit of a defense, but on that straight, just see Marius has got so much more speed being carried into it, and so Toby's now going to have to watch his brother go forward to try and catch Wesley van der Linden. But I think if you're Toby, you're hoping that your brother can pull you along and maybe try and make it a Nissinger 1-2 towards the end of the race, but we'll see how that comes later on.
Wow. I'm impressed by that. Just passing him right on the straight. Toby had a bad couple corners, didn't get the speed he was looking for. Marius pounced on it. Second place. And Wes Lee in fourth, catching up. Now 7 seconds behind the third place car of Toby.
Yeah, and so just a quick rundown of our standings so far of our leaderboard. In P14 we have Lotus Lucian, who has had a great race in the McLaren. In P13 we have Boldock in the Ferrari. Did not finish his previous race at Spa, but will look to finish here, but not a good way to end. Mikael Blom in the 12th so far. The previous Silverstone winner has faced a fair share of adversity this race, and so that win looks to be out of action unless something big happens for the Lamborghini driver. Emil Antonsson goes to P11 in the McLaren. Samuel Henderson, our UK correspondent, our one and only Porsche, in P10. Davut Kashir in P9, the other Lamborghini driver. Has not been a memorable race. Mohamed Montoya in P8 after the drive-through penalty. Is the Canadian trying to make do for his brother who was meant to be here, but unfortunately couldn't make it to the race. But not too good to start off with. Ben Namey is someone else who we haven't visited in a little while. P7th for the McLaren driver, who hasn't had the best times or the most memorable of races. P9 in his last Silverstone, so it's a bit of an upgrade, but nothing too much for Namey. In 6th place we have Gael Sarabia, the Mexican in the McLaren, who has had a few penalties, including one for spinning out his 5th place rival, Power Sheablam, who also rides in that McLaren, who was riding P2 and qualified for P2, but it was that spin from Sarabia that sent him all the way down to P5. In P4 we have the qualifying pole lead Wes Lee, who was involved in an accident with disqualified driver Patrick Golson earlier on, so end up going down the ranks, but the Ford driver makes his way back to 4th, and so still looking for that podium. Has set the fastest lap of the race as well, 1:59.087. In 3rd place we have one half of the Essinger brothers, Toby Essinger, who just lost that 2nd place but has been driving excellently so far and definitely could be a shoe-in for this 1st place. But ahead of him it's his brother Marius Essinger, also in the Ferrari. The German brothers working together as much as they can do in a race like Silverstone for the Essinger 2-3, and our race lead P1 Wesley van der Linden, who has had an amazing race so far but has had some pressure coming in from Toby Essinger before and could have some from the brother Marius now, so has to keep on top of P1.
Yeah, and I know these guys halfway through the race I know that right arm's starting to burn. That left arm starting to burn. They're getting into the nitty gritty now. Now is the it's make or break here. Final half. Really gonna see what these guys got. Full throttle, no holds barred. It's time to go.
And here's Michael Blom in that Lamborghini. Is I believe he is behind a Ferrari, I believe. I might be.
Yes, he is behind the leader. He is.
Is it behind Wesley van der Linden? I had to give up for blue flag, so can't really fight Wesley van der Linden, but we'll just remain.
Surprisingly, keeping good pace.
Yeah, well, we're just going to try and make pace. Try and catch up with Emil Antonsen, who's very far away. It actually looks towards the outside.
Oh,
there's
goodness!
Contact between Blom and van der Linden. This is really interesting because these two are fighting. And Michael Blom's in P11, a lap down. And
he's going to send it into the club! Oh my gosh! With the leader on his tail, and the leader's going to spin him! Oh, you could tell van der Linden was fed up and just... he had to move. Wow.
Yeah, van der Linden frustrated with Michael Blom there, who was trying to fight him when maybe he shouldn't have. P11 versus
and look
P1,
at the gap down to second place. With him fighting, he lost about 3 seconds to second place. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be incredible. And there will be a penalty for Lotus Lucian for crossing the pit lane exit of 5 seconds. It's going to be interesting to see the outcome of that battle between van der Linden and Blom and who gets the penalty, because I think you can argue that as much as van der Linden made the contact, Blom was also getting in the way when blue flags should have been there.
Especially that massive dive bomb into the from Vale into club. That's personally my decision. That probably wasn't the smartest move to make, especially in front of the leader. But he paid the price. I don't believe the leader will get a penalty for that, but we will see.
Yeah. I mean, talking about frustration now, but how long do you reckon Wesley van der Linden can hold on to that, especially if he gets overtaken by Marius in second place? You know, it's going to be interesting to see, because if he gets, personally, if that was me and I got overtaken by Marius Sissinger now, it would really play on my mind constantly as we go now, and we are at the halfway mark.
Halfway. Van der Linden in first, Issinger brothers 2 and 3, Mario in second, Toby in third.
Oh, it was, fortunately for you, it's not Mario, it's Marius Issinger.
Marius, look at me, man.
I mean, if you want, we can refer to them as Mario and Luigi, the Issinger brothers. So
don't even say that, because I'll get stuck on that.
Marius and Toby, Issinger, P2, P3.
Awesome. This is some great racing so far. Top 4.
You can see
coming together.
Toby has been losing a bit of time to Marius, but still, it's not much, and it's not enough to really sort of fade away into P3 or fade away into any fight with Wesley. They're keeping each other up, and I think they are trying to get each other up towards Wesley van der Linden here, so it's going to be interesting. About
especially
10 minutes
normally
time.
If there is a car with a massive lead, you don't want to fight. You don't want to. The fighting happens when we catch the leader, and then that's when it all goes haywire.
Yeah,
but I do believe these guys, especially the ones up in front, besides van der Linden with the lapped car, they've been pretty cordial so far. As these seconds tick down and the minutes wane away, we'll see just how far these boys will go to move up a spot.
Now with Wesley for just a second, as we saw him go onto the main straight. Here's Wesley van der Linden go through Marcus and Beckett. As you can see, just in front of him another lap car. I believe that is Samuel Henderson in the Porsche. We'll get a look in just a second. Marius Issinger, Toby Issinger now going through Marcus and Beckett, and now Wesley follows shortly behind him, and that's actually not too far away, Wesley, from Issinger's. It's
No,
gonna
he's
be
not.
interesting to see if that.
And as the Issingers cut
factor-
into the lead of as they cut into the lead, Wesley is cutting into theirs.
Yeah, well, Wesley has just cut into a time penalty for causing that early collision with
And-
Michael Blom.
We have our answer.
Yes, indeed.
Leader.
So, right now, technically, even though Van der Linden is actually first, technically, Marius Issinger is in first. Because he is only 4 seconds away. And that 10-second time penalty will come in after the race. But we will be just looking at that Van der Linden incident again here on the replay.
Let's see here.
Oh no, there's actually Samuel Henderson on the replay who, went spinning. Yeah, Henderson just went spinning. Lot of
And now
damage,
let's
but
watch Michael
here's-
Blom. Heavy dive bomb into the corner. Actually, yeah. I mean, that is... Now looking at the replay, you can clearly see. I mean, Michael Blom had that... He had that spot. And I guess...
Yeah.
That's tough. That's... Oh, man. Tough for
Yeah,
the Ferrari driver of Vanderlyn. That is tough.
yeah, and just like we were saying, you can see how frustrated he was getting with Michael Blom in Lamborghini.
And that had been
is
going
just
on for a while.
That's just a combination of that anger, that frustration, and it's ended up costing him a lot more than it really should have. No, worst case scenario, you fall to P2 or P3 later on. There's still positions you can get back, but with a 10-second time penalty post-race, it's going to be... I mean, you're going to have the drive of your life, but when you have Marius and Tobias...
That's like one of those situations where you want to be mad at the lap car, but he's racing for his position as well. I mean, you put him a lap down, that puts him in a very bad disadvantage. He's going to race for that spot. It's just a tough incident, man. Two guys giving it all they got, and sadly, one got a penalty for it. One got spun out, but one got a penalty.
Yeah, look at this. Well, it's like every time we go back to Wesley, he's cut down at least a second to whoever he's taking up behind, because now
This boy is fast, representing the American muscle.
yeah, I believe only 2 seconds away from Toby Issinger, who is now...
And he is just making up time. Look at him going into Village here.
Yeah, really good. Really brave drive as well from Wesley here. Not afraid of any of these corners, and so has cut that time deficit down immensely to only 2 seconds. And now the straightaway, I mean, we'll see the straight line pace of the Ford.
That V8 so strong on the straights, man. It's got so much power.
Yeah, but he only gets the Ferraris. The old trope, Ford versus Ferrari, who wins? And as right now, it's Ferrari, but Ford could come back as there is a spin for one of the McLarens of Lotus Lucien, who currently sits in last place as Lotus Lucien spins out again, plus 5 laps down. I mean, it's not been a good race for...
It's just a hard day. Just a hard day. And it goes like that sometimes. You feel for him.
Oh, daily office happens.
Oh, look at him drive. Get a little loose on the entry. Gather that car back up. Man, Wesley is fast.
Yeah, I mean, you can just see how much time he's cutting down. Look at how much time he's gaining on the straights. I mean, that was 4/10 of a second there. As you can see, Toby Issinger getting very loose going into that turn there.
He's going to try and get right on the back of this Lamborghini right here. I believe that is Michael Blom. I believe.
Oh, it is. It's not Issinger. I thought that was Issinger. It is Michael Blom.
Yeah, Michael
in
Blom.
front of Wesley.
Down a lap. Trying to run his fastest laps, and look at that! Oh my gosh! Just the speed coming out of that thing.
Yeah, Michael Blom.
He's got that Mustang geared up.
Yeah. Michael Blom letting him through, but I believe that the Lamborghini has retired from the session. So we'll be getting confirmation of that just shortly, but I'm just letting Wesley go. Which, you know, I feel like if you show that to Wesley van der Linde, you might be a bit annoyed. So maybe we don't show that to him because...
Alright, let's delete the last 2 minutes of the broadcast.
Yeah, nothing
Can't
happened.
publish this.
Nothing happened at all, but Wesley continuing to make up time on Toby Issinger.
He's doing great.
As we look towards Marius Issinger.
Marius
right behind Wesley van der Linde, less than a second
it down.
away.
Here we go.
Yeah, we see
last pass for the lead was done on pit road. We'll see if we can get a pass on track for the lead right here. Marius, he's going for it. Up into Stowe.
Yeah, well, we've
Toby
seen how
Issinger
Wesley van der
falling
Linde deals with one Issinger brother, but now how about the other? What can he do? Try and ward off Marius here.
Heavy
as
braking
Marius
into
looks
club.
towards-
Oh, looks like
He's trying
Marius
to
got a
escape
better
on the
line
corner.
through there.
Okay, so
He
it
is
looks
right
like it could be a
on his
move
bumper.
down into these corners. 2/10 away from Wesley van der Linde and the lead as we go into Magnus and Beckett. Wesley van der Linde might have a bit of a better course. This is not Magnus and Beckett's, apologies, but Issinger will have
Up
a go
into
at it
Village,
anyway.
gonna take the inside
Let's
line
look.
into Aintree. Gonna go low. We'll see how his drive off here is down the Wellington Straight, and if he's got enough to pass.
Yeah, van der Linde defends well there, but in this straight, he's going to have to do so much against Marius.
He's
and
gonna
it's
take
not
the
gonna be
outside.
Enough. Takes the outside line.
Van der
Now
Linden taking the more
Marius is
defensive.
Yeah, but look at this. Issinger goes off the track a little bit, but not able to make the move stick as Wesley van der Linde is a very good defender by the Dutchman for now, but still has not evaded the threat just yet. Meanwhile, in the back, you can see Toby Issinger gaining as Marius is holding up Wesley van der Linde. As now it could even be a move attempted here, and it's going to be Marius Issinger now going round Wesley van der Linde, but not able to make it stick into Magnus.
Into Maggots.
But here we go, Issinger just a bit loose there. And meanwhile, on our other screen, you can see Wesley fighting with Toby Issinger. And so this is an absolute conundrum of two brothers fighting two different people, and both of these could have lasting consequences for the race. But the positions stay stationary for now as Marius looks
P1
to
and
try.
P2 heading down Hanger Straight into Stowe.
Marius is being warded off by van der Linde for now anyway, as Wesley's being warded off by Toby, and this is really where you've got to keep every bit of focus now. Van der Linde going into that defensive line, but Messenger's line is so good, not giving Van der Linde an inch to breathe.
Wow. Look at these guys go. This is incredible. Nobody
all-
giving an inch.
Van der Linde looked like he went off, caught his tyres in the grass for just a second, but has recovered well.
It looks like Toby's running
Issinger.
really hard, trying to stay
And
away
Toby
from
Issinger's
Wesley.
gone wide.
Toby's off track! Goes wide. Wesley moves up into third.
And now this is concerning. Wesley's only 2 seconds away from Marius Issinger here. I mean, he could very well get involved in this fight as well. Between Marius Issinger and Wesley van der Linde, as we go into the left-hander.
Oh, he's quick.
Van der Linden defending well, and you can see how close Wesley is and how close Toby Issinger is.
Oh, we got a four-way fight for the lead. Here they come. P3 and P4 about to join this battle.
Wesley van der Linden's done an excellent job of holding up Marius Issinger for now, but he's going to have 2 more competitors coming very shortly, and Marius is feeling the pressure to get this move done as soon as he can to try and keep that defense locked in. That's giving nothing.
If Van der Linde
to Wesley
thinks
van
his
der Linde.
problem is Marius Issinger, he's wrong. Because Wesley is going to come up while they're fighting, and he's going to have he might have a clean 1-2. Pass them both.
Yeah,
These guys have got to be smart here.
Wesley getting a bit loose. towards that end bit of Beckett's, and now Martin's going to be feeling a bit of pressure from Toby Islinger once again, but on this main straight heading into Stowe, you can see all 4 of the top 4 drivers heading into Stowe as Islinger takes the inside line, looks to try and make that move, stick into P1, where Van der Linde goes wide as well, and is side by side. Van der Linde gets that inside line low, and look who showed up. Wesley has showed up, has even created a bit of a gap between him and Toby Islinger. Van der Linde keeps P1 somehow. Wesley, no, he's going to look to get involved into the battle. Here he goes, almost drifting into that first corner.
Oh, holy cow. These boys are driving it on the edge of their seats.
Look side by side again between Marius Islinger and Wesley Van der Linde. Van der Linde's got the inside line and keeps P1 for now. Marius Islinger held off once again as Wesley now looking to try and get involved in this battle. Watch these guys back the Wellington straight here.
Here they go.
The Wellington straight is going to be interesting to see what lines they take. Van der Linde defends the inside line, but not enough. Marius Islinger gets it and he will take P1 for just a second though. Wesley Van der Linde not wanting to let him breathe and try and get position back. But you have Wesley there as well. But Marius Islinger has made that move sick for now. But Wesley Van der Linde say is not done yet. Wesley's now coming behind him, and now he has to defend P2. And in a matter of seconds can go from P1 to P3. As now, actually, Wesley Van der Linde goes wide, and Wesley's now there, and he gets into P2.
Into second
There's not
place.
much defending to Michael Beckett's from Wesley Van der Linde. He has to just give up this P2 position, and now it's Wesley P2, Marius Islinger P1 with Wesley Van der Linde in P3.
Now Marius Islinger gonna lead this race. You gotta wonder. He just watched Wesley. He knows he got the penalty and everything else, and this man is still right up here on your bumper. How is he gonna hold on to this?
Well, Wesley going wide really helps, as a matter of fact, but Wesley right on the bumper already of Islinger. That gap is non-existent as Wesley Van der Linde is having to defend from Toby Islinger once again. Wesley, such good race pace, and now looking to try and get ahead the bumper of Marius Islinger, but he's not going to let it go without a fight. Previous Silverstone winner, and look how much speed they both carry towards towards his turn. I mean, this is an incredible fight from P1 to P4.
Whoa, Wes got a little squirrely. You got to be careful with that big, powerful V8, man. It's possible it'll get out from under you. And the spin is the last thing Wesley wants to see right now. I think what Wesley wants to see right now is some open track. Get out from behind Marius and go run his race.
You know what? I would pay good money to be in the passenger seat of Michael Blom's Lamborghini, because he saw all of that happen in front of him.
That would be awesome.
I mean, that was a premium racing experience right there. And meanwhile, as you go into the final turn, Wesley's still going to be behind him. Looks to make a move now. Has a look, I should say, but isn't going to try and make things stick into Magnus and Beckett's. But here we go, Wesley. How much speed can he keep in towards Magnus and Beckett's already on the fastest lap? And now there's even traffic ahead of Marius Islinger. I'm not sure who that is. I think that might be Lotus Lucian. This is scary. Lotus Lucian.
Whoa!
Blue flags and lets them go. But it's a big break needed from Islinger. And now Wesley's going to go side by side down the Wellington straight.
I think Wesley's going to have the advantage into this corner.
And he has the speed going into Stowe. Islinger gets
he
on
does.
the brakes, but not able to keep it there. And Wesley goes to P1.
You're a new leader with 1 hour 13 minutes remaining. Wesley. From the front to the back to the front. Incredible.
Yeah, but you can see Marius Islinger keeps having that look down the side there and
not
to
giving
get side
him
by side.
Inch.
But that's the problem. Wesley has got so much pace in that V8 engine that Islinger is going to have to succeed for now, and he's going to have to try and get him in the corners. But Wesley, that straight line speed
made up a lot of time in that braking zone.
The problem is we're going into straight now, and Wesley has got so much pace on these straights, it's ridiculous. Issinger's doing
So
a good job of
fast.
keeping up, but look at the gap already forming between Lee and Issinger. Issinger's going to have to keep going for dive bombs just to keep up with Wesley.
And that's the problem when you go for those dive bombs. Either they work out really well, or you put yourself into a really rough spot. So every chance he's taking with every move he's making, I wouldn't say he's flipping a coin, but he's definitely playing a dangerous game.
Yes, indeed. But the one good news is that there is a bit of a gap now between Marius Issinger and Wesley van der Linde in third. Is him fighting with Toby Issinger has really helped this gap to form. But we'll go back and watch Marius Issinger as we go into Magnus and Beckett, and I think he's just waiting for a mistake here. But look how good that cornering is on the Ferrari compared to the Ford. Makes up so much time, but it just feels like he's about to lose it again, especially as we go into the straight.
On that exit, he just can't compete with the Mustang. She's too powerful.
Yeah, but look at this as well. Toby Issinger going into side-by-side action with Wesley van der Linde now, trying to get that P3 locked in and loaded. But Issinger is being forced as van der Linde. Very scary moment on the defense for Wesley van der Linde, but manages to keep P3 for now. But Toby Issinger has the better line on the inside, and it's going to get quickly traded back for Wesley van der Linde as they go into club.
I thought he was going to try to go for a switch around. He didn't have the line. Oh, contact!
There is contact as Toby Issinger shoved off track near enough, and here as well is Michael Blom in a Lamborghini, who's in front of now Toby Issinger. This could be very dangerous as there's a gap now built between Issinger and Wesley van der Linde, but I think the race stewards might be having a look at that one.
Ooh, there was definitely contact there. Pretty rough coming out of the corner. Woo!
Yeah, and it wasn't
gap
contact,
is still tight up here.
Toby Issinger just went so far off track, and I think that's a fair argument to say that that would have been caused by that contact. So we'll have to wait for the race stewards' official reaction to that.
And don't forget, van der Linde has that 10-second time penalty, so he's not really fighting for anything right now.
He's trying to try and stay up. There's
another
Ferrari that's trying to fight. Marius Issinger's been keeping up with Wesley very well so far, but it just questions when the overtake would happen, if it even will, is I think the question on a lot of people's minds. Two veterans of this racing series. Wesley 6th place at his last Silverstone, but 9 top 3 finishes in the last 10 races, and I think the only one where that wasn't the case was because he DNF'd. So it's incredible from Wesley. He's found what works and is, I don't want to say abused it, but he has abused it. Whereas Issinger, in and of itself, a top driver, P3 in his last Silverstone race, and it's better for him, but not what he wanted after having that P1 so close.
Yeah, Wesley is in the position he wants to be right now, for sure. Especially, I'm pretty sure he can see that Marius Issinger is keeping pace, but he probably doesn't have the pace to pass him. So if I'm Wesley right now, I'm managing my gap, making sure I'm running good laps, and if he does get close, watching out for the dive bomb, because it's coming.
Yeah, indeed. As you can see now with some of these last laps, Issinger running a 2 minutes, Van der Linde running a 2:02. No, Toby Issinger running a 2:08. So it is really just not good. I'm not sure. Toby Issinger has actually formed to P6, so I'm not sure what happened there. Whether there was accident. I think it was actually a pit stop from Toby Issinger that has allowed Gail Salabia and Ben Namey to get back to P4, P5.
Well, Toby's pace has fallen off a lot since the first little stint. He was extremely fast, even ran down van der Linde, but on this run since his last stop, he hasn't had as much pace as he did at the beginning of the race.
And so, what do you think that is for Tobias? Because he was really just incredible pace. We saw how much he caught up with Wesley van der Linden, but
honestly, I really couldn't say whether it was just pace or possibly. I don't think it would be damage. I don't think he got any damage. Maybe he overran his tires or something similar to that. Maybe, but he just couldn't get the car where he wanted it to go this run. Especially not as good as his first stint, for sure.
And we see Wesley now keeping ahead of Marius Estrella. I believe that gap is just slowly opening up between the Ferrari and the Ford.
He's putting a couple tenths per lap. Small. It was only I think the gap last time was like 5/100ths. Yeah. They're extremely close, but Wesley is in the clear lead, running faster laps.
You can see on the gap between the two drivers that isn't just gap, is slowly, ever so surely falling behind to 0.7 of a second. Now going back up.
I think Issinger's plan right now, run the rest, get this race down to a couple minutes left, last couple laps, stay in P2, stay within a second or two of Wesley, and be there for the final stint. Be there for the ending of this race and try and run him down. Save your stuff. Don't wear out them tires too bad. And try and stay as close as you can.
And something else I want to mention as well is that, you know, he's not had the most most memorable race, but I think the person that's actually had the most impact on this race as a whole is the 8th place driver Michael Blom. Because
absolutely,
I think a lot of what we've seen earlier on, especially with the fights between him and van der Linden, between van der Linden and Wesley and Issinger and all those guys, wouldn't have happened without him. And
no, it wouldn't have.
Van der Linden getting into it, really. I think they'd get into it again here.
If it was to have happened, it would have happened a good couple laps later, because he had a 10-second lead after fighting with Blom. It fell all the way to almost 5.5.
And look at this again, they're fighting again. Michael Blom's going on the inside of Wesley van der Linden.
I get the vibe that these two don't like each other. I don't know.
Gives you that impression. Michael Blom can't make that mistake because Wesley van der Linden keeps a hold, and they're not even fighting for positions. Michael Blom's a lap down. Wesley van der Linden's a third. This is just for the love of the game that Michael Blom is being a pain in van der Linden's rear. But I mean, for van der Linden, this must be so frustrating because you are only losing time to Marius Issinger, and you're only allowing Gael Sarabia to get back into this fight as Michael Blom goes in again on the inside and gets the overtake. Wesley van der Linden looking to try and come back, but blocked off by Blom, and so, I mean, this is a race in and of itself.
This might be the whole story. Wow, man! Just to see these two going at it again, incredible. You loved it. You'd love to see it. Race is getting late. These boys have been racing for an hour and 56 minutes. I'd be getting a little ornery too. I'm not gonna lie.
So we've talked about van der Linden, Wesley van der Linden, and his possible feelings towards this whole engagement. But why not Michael Blom? Because, I mean, it's really interesting to see, like, the thought process between Blom and why he would be doing this to, well, all of the front pack, but especially towards Wesley van der Linden. If there is some back trauma, or back history, I should say, between the two.
The way these two were racing each other leads me to believe that they don't give each other an inch. Whether that be they don't like each other, whether it be out of respect, which I highly doubt, but these two are going, as far as I've seen today, if these two are beside each other, it's going to be a show.
Yeah, and you can
for
see
sure.
Right there, Marius Issinger going for a pit stop, so conceding that P2 as Wesley van der Linden will actually use that to get himself into P2. Wesley still in the lead with a 15-second gap between him and second place. Gareth Rabia will round out your top 3 is Marius and Toby now back together in P5 and P6.
Look at Sarabia though, coming up, doing really well. All the way, worked his way into 3rd, having a clean day. I know he got that penalty earlier, but ever since then it's been clean. He's been doing well.
Yeah,
Worked
but
his
I
way
think
up
the
into
main
3rd.
thing for the McLaren is just to get those best laps down and to try and get under 2 minutes. You know, a 2 minute and 1:55 is good, but it could be better. But I'm not sure any of the McLarens have really done that. In fact, no McLaren has gotten a sub 2 minute lap, so maybe it is just the car choice today, or
Possibly.
no, maybe it's not hitting those corners fast enough. I'm not sure, but either way,
Yeah.
so
The only cars running 159, Mustang, Ferrari. Yeah, Mustang, Ferrari, and the Porsche.
Lamborghini.
Or, excuse me, no, Lamborghini. Yeah, Lamborghini.
There we go.
Not Porsche.
The Porsche of Samuel Henderson, 201.077. As we see Marius Issenger and Ben Namey, sorry, just in front. Someone who we've not spoken about in a little while, but McLaren now under some pressure from the former 2nd place. As you can just see Marius Issenger, no fear in those dives, in those late breaks. Namey will defend here. There is a position in
Namey in the pits.
Yeah, but Namey defending a little bit because there are positions to be won and lost here, but instead going into the pits and trying to use that as cover, as we now have 1 hour remaining in the Silverstone.
Woo!
58 laps so far completed.
2/3 of the way done. I'm enjoying this so far. This has been a great experience. These guys are giving it all they got. Now this last
giving
hour,
Everything
what they really
that they have.
I'm excited to watch these top 5, man. This last little stint here, it's going to be very, very exciting.
Yes, but I think even
See if
some of the
Wesley
rookies we've
hold
seen
on.
today, mainly Toby Issenger, who is making once again his Silverstone debut. You know, he's done a really good job to even be up in the top 5 and fighting, and so to get here and to be as big a part of this race as he has been incredible. But there's also been a few others as well making their debuts. Half of them. DNF is Timofey Slabodnik, the Belarusian driver. Silverstone debut is disqualified. Patrick Olsen from the US in the Bentley was his full debut for FGM, his first appearance, but ended in a disqualification. Mian Antonsen in his Silverstone debut in the McLaren as well, currently running in P9. A decent drive so far for Swede, as we see him swooping out in the number 58
Really
car.
good looking car as well. Beautiful ride.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good looking car. It's a decent, it's a good driver, you know. Silverstone debut, I think you take P9 here.
Absolutely, man. Especially with a debut anywhere. You want... My goal, normally when I sim race, my goal when I do something for the first time, honestly, I just want to finish the race and end with as little incidents as possible. And Antonsen has done an amazing job with that today. At least in the second half. Or at least in this last little half.
Yes, indeed. As we just keep following with Milan Antonsen, especially with Swede. And I think, no, there's not much more to be fighting for. Mikael Blom in P8 is a bit far away, as you see David Kashir in P10 going for a spin in a Lamborghini once again. And he's not had the best of races either today.
No. Not running terrible lap times, though. This one's not going to be great, but...
Yeah,
You see, I think if you can run a low, like a very low 2 to a 159, you'll be able to work your way up. But we're getting into that part of the race now where even if you're in the back and you're running fast laps, there may not be enough time for you to work your way forward. So everything from this point on is really, really important. Every position, every lap.
Yeah, and I think what's frustrating for Devon Cashier is that he has been top 5 in 4 of his previous 10 Silverstone races, and it looks like another one where he's not going to be able to reach that apex of P5, and so it's frustrating for him, and especially considering that there's no post-race time penalties and that as well. I believe, if I remember correctly, there has been penalties for Devon Cashier, but no time penalties post-race, and so I think at the end of the day, it comes down to the mistakes that he's made, and I think we've seen a lot more of Devon Cashier sideways or off the track than we have seen him on it going forward. So
True.
It's a rough day at the office for Turk.
Like we were talking about earlier, consistency is so important. You can run 10 laps at your best pace, and if you spin out, all the work you did in those 10 laps is gone. Or if you even have a bobble, you can lose multiple tenths that you've gained over certain laps. It is so important to be consistent with your lap times, especially around a circuit like this.
Yeah, and we are following Toby Issinger in P5. We will be heading into a replay of an event that happened off screen between Toby Issinger. We are on board.
Toby,
ooh, very loose.
a little loose into village there, coming around farm.
Just hit the bumps and drifted it round the village. But
well, you get any type
time.
of air, and you get one tire off the ground, anything like that, it's going to put, especially these GT3 cars, it is going to put you into a really rough situation, because you either have to slow down and get back on your racing line, or you keep going and you blow the corner. There's no good news that comes out of hitting the corner like that at all.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting dynamic between, the heavier cars and the lighter cars, because, with the heavier cars you can push them more because you have that worry less of those curbs and losing that grip. Like we were seeing earlier with some of the Lamborghinis that have been weighed down a lot. But if you drive a lighter car, sure, you'll be faster on the straights and the corners and have a higher top speed, but if you make a mistake like that, then you're going to be going spinning, and so it's a really interesting dynamic, and I think Wesley has really mastered that for the heavier side, where he's got
some of those curbs like that can even cause damage. There's a lot, like especially at Circuit of the Americas, one of my home tracks. It is, if you hit one of the corners, you can bend an axle and your race is done if you hit anything like that. So you have to be very careful with cornering, especially one with bumps like that. Ooh, and we got a penalty on the number 19 of Lotus Lucian. 10-second time penalty for ignoring visual cues.
Yeah, Lotus Lucian.
His day going worse and worse.
Yeah, I think you will be looking forward to going to bed tonight for the Romanian. Didn't finish his 2 of his past 3 races. His best Silverstone finish was P9. Doesn't look to be getting any better today.
We'll hope Lucian uses the rest of this race, get some practice in, make sure he can do well for next race.
Yeah, because especially considering you never know, the next race he could show up would be at Silverstone. So be interesting to see where he comes. As Brad Buduk, you see the drive-through penalty as well. Not sure what for, but we'll get the official word coming from Stewart soon enough as Gal Sarabia goes back to the pits.
In the pits! Time to get 4 fresh, brand new rubbers.
Yeah, and you can see there as well Michael Blom, the Lamborghini, in the pits as well. And Sarabia, I think he would just be saying hello to the Dutch Lamborghini driver, as we now look at Marius Issinger, who's in P4, make that P3 now, as he goes past Gabriel Sarabia. So our top three, Wesley in P1, Wesley van der Linde in P2, with Marius Issenger in the Ferrari in P3.
And Marius running 159.472, running really fast.
Yeah, but as you were saying earlier, would that be fast enough to try and make a late launch to Wesley and even van der Linden?
Man,
it's just
it's hard to tell, just because he pitted, so he's got fresh tires. He's obviously faster. What I believe is happening right now is Wesley is probably going to come in for probably one more. So what he's trying to do is put as much gap between him and second, well, him and the rest of the field as possible, so he can possibly still even have the lead when he comes out of pit road. I think that's his main goal, is to make enough pace between him and the people behind him so that he can pit one more time and he's home free after that. Because especially if he does pit again, he'll be home free. Fresh tires, clean track ahead of him. It'd be game over.
Yeah, you just saw as well Bravo Duke going into the pits, as well as Wesley van der Linden for his second pit.
I would expect to see Wesley in here very soon.
Yeah, Wesley only on
the next 2 or 3 laps.
Only on one pit stop so far. We're looking for
Whoa,
his second.
okay. I thought he had taken 2. That is insane. Okay. This dude is crazy. I love watching this. Can't believe he's doing
Yeah,
something.
Wesley putting pedal to metal and really doing a good job of it, as Marius Issenger will overtake van der Linde from the pits. It will now be an Issenger 2-3 once again, as van der Linde will lose time in the pits. As Mahan Wantawa, I believe, might even take a peek into P4. You can just see him coming there, but I'm not sure he will get the beating of Wesley van der Linden. And you can see the car being dropped, and Wesley van der Linden will keep 4th place coming out of the pits, you would assume. Unless there is a miracle, and yeah, Wesley van der Linden keeping P4, Mahan Wantawa staying in P5.
Back to Wesley now.
I mean, you can just see how fast he really is. I mean, we still got to wait for this pit stop. But, I mean, is there a chance he goes for the 1 stop? You know, 15 minutes to go, and you can see the gap up between Wesley and Issenger. Is there a chance there's just a 1-stop strategy for Wesley?
Well, what we need to do is watch his lap times. If he can run a consistent 2... Okay. Got it. Okay, so he does have 1 more mandatory pit stop. So if he could do it on the 1, that would be insane. But they do have another mandatory. So I would expect to see him probably within the next... If his lap times don't start dropping, actually, I really don't know when he'll come. But if those lap times start to fall a 10th or so a lap, I believe he'll start coming in.
Yeah, and I think this will be interesting as well, because I think that earlier pit stop was actually for... we saw him in the pits, I think it was for damage early. We saw him very early on the race, and so I'm not sure if he took a second one or if he did take that second one, but because of the pit window. But still needs to go in for that pit stop, as does Mahan Wantawa.
I'm not completely sure what went on with him throughout the race. All I know is he is leading by a lot.
Yeah, leading by a lot. But no, it is Marius
Over
Issenger.
a minute lead. Are you kidding me? Wesley putting on a clinic.
So, and here's another question about Wesley and the pit stops. Do we reckon, could he just hold it until virtual later, or is it better to get it out of the way now and do it?
Well, he is in a very good groove right now. He's running extremely fast laps. He's doing great. The only thing you would really need a pit stop for... Good Lord, look at that! 159.552! That's incredible. This guy is incredible. The only time I would see him needing, like absolutely needing to pit is if his laps start to fall off. But I believe he's just going to keep putting on the seconds, keep widening that gap, and depending on if his laps fall or not, he would pit in the last couple laps maybe. That's what I think. Either tires fall off and he pits, or he waits till the very end of the race and then he'll take his last pit.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be interesting as well because when he gets those new tires, he's going to have to actually warm them up and get them up to speed. And you can see the track's only 20 degrees, even though we're not due in for any rain or anything. It's still going to be difficult to get these tires warmed up, and so that could be the chance that Mario Sissinger needs to get. And
that's what he's hoping for.
Yeah, maybe a few
and
mistakes,
but the longer he waits, the longer Wesley waits, the more tire his opponents are using, and the more new tire he is going to have. His only struggle I could see, like you said, would be on cold tires, but he's got enough gap to where I believe he could back it off a little bit and worry about warming those tires up. I don't think he's got anything to worry about, barring a big mistake here.
Yeah, but it still has to get through the back runners such as Lotus Lucian and Samuel Henderson, who we have seen, and Michael Blom, famous, and we have seen them cause problems for leaders just earlier on in this race, mainly Wesley van der Linden, but that curse could come and haunt Wesley as well. But for now, very good drives in P1.
The thing about the lap traffic is it's so frustrating to be leading a race and having to deal with lap traffic. And controlling your emotions is almost just as important as controlling the car. Getting frustrated and just losing your mind a little bit in the car, it doesn't help you, and it definitely doesn't help your opponents.
Indeed, as we go towards this stretch, you can see McLaren. I'm not sure whose McLaren that was. That might have been Lotus Lucian. But you can see Emil Antonsson in P10 just ahead of previous McLaren. Actually, is that the BMW of Mahan Wantawa? I believe that is actually the BMW of Mahan Wantawa in P5. I don't think it would be worth Mahan Wantawa actually fighting Wesley, but 45 minutes to go.
Not at
is
this
there
point.
A world where that could be positive for Canadian? I'm going to say it as a no, considering how long it's taken you to think.
I don't think so. I don't believe so. Especially most of the guys in the back right now, I think they're mostly worried about getting to the end. The guys in front pushing extremely hard, of course. Shoot, Michael Blom running under a 2. He's doing great. But the guys, especially 11th and on back, I wouldn't doubt if they were just riding around trying to finish this race out. But if you're in first through 5th, I think you're chugging along. Pedal to the metal. You still got 40 minutes. You got to get everything you can here.
Yeah, and Power still has that mandatory pit stop to be complete within the next 44 minutes. And, well, there it goes. Mahan Wantawa into the pits as we will receive a stop and go penalty for 30 seconds. I think that might have been for breaking the speed limit onto the pits when he crossed that line, but not too sure. Possibly breaking pit limits as well. So stop and go for 30 seconds.
30 seconds. 30. Yikes, that's tough. Well, we can see now Wesley ran a 2:01.28. We'll see if his pace is dropping off at all when he comes back by this next time.
Yeah, and I think Wesley is going to have to think as the blue flags come out. So Wesley should, in theory, get a nice run, and Lotus Lucian will allow him to do just that. As now the sights are set on to Emil Antonsson, who I believe is just ahead of the 554 car.
Alright, we'll see what he runs here. Let's see.
2:01.2. So we head to
Still
Magnussen.
fairly
This is still fairly consistent, but I think this is the point where Wesley is starting to deliberate whether this is the time for that pit stop. You can see
absolutely,
the pace
because
slowly go down.
Yeah, he can see that his lap is falling off a little bit. He's thinking, okay, I've got a minute lead. I'm about a second slower than them on these laps because of these tires. I probably need to pit within the next couple laps. I would not be surprised to see him, maybe not this time by, but the next time by. Within the next 4 laps, for sure.
Yeah, definitely so. And of course, for Marius and Tobias, you've had a great race, but looks like you're just going to have to let Wesley go. As Brad Badak is off the track. Ferrari, again, not had a great day today, and bad to worse. I feel like it's probably the most used phrase.
Going into Village. Village is a tough corner to get through, man. Even too much gas, you're going to spin out. Too little, you're not going to make the corner. Village is a tough corner.
Yeah, from a P3 at Spa to now P11 in England and Silverstone.
See, Toby's in 3rd. His last lap is still, it's not close to Wes at all.
Yeah, you can see the gap between Toby and Marius is just 14 seconds, and these gaps that we've been able to see Toby close before. We saw it when he was fighting Wesley van der Linken for the first, but it's going to be difficult now with only 40 minutes left to really come back in. But we do have a replay of something that happened off camera. Just take a look. This is Mahan Randhawa, and I believe that is Lotus Lucien in a McLaren. Who has wow.
That's, you got to look where you're going, bud. You got to check that track.
There.
Yeah,
really
dangerous re-entry.
No contact between him and Tower. I believe that is Lotus Lucien in that McLaren. I believe his McLaren and maybe Ben Namies or Gail Sarabia's. I can't remember exactly for sure, but it is the same liveries. But no, Wesley, 2 minutes 7 on his last lap, so he's still in and around that time. 2 minutes 6, so it's sort of staying where it is. So we will be going into Beckett's and Beckett's now with.
And there we go.
Ford
See,
driver.
I guess he might have just messed up that last lap because he's running 2s now. Not pulling in.
Yeah, it's going to be a question of when he does decide to pull in though, because we're getting close to 30 minutes remaining, so it will be interesting to see when he pulls the trigger. But at the same time, I do believe he's still making time on Marius Issinger, so you know, it's going to be interesting.
Too. I would not pull in that pit lane until I started losing time on 2nd place. Consistent.
No, I don't want to say this because I don't feel like Wesley is a toxic racer, but I do feel like there's a chance that he has such a big gap point up, you might as well just finish the race in the pits.
That would be awesome. That'd be so funny.
I don't even think you can do that. That's how the mandatory pit stop works, but it would be somewhat funny as we go and watch Barak Budak, who again hasn't had much to say this race. P12 has not been good in a fight with Samuel Henderson, our UK representative, and doing very poorly. P11 for the Porsche driver, as now we go onto this back straight. So we head into Stowe as Barak Budak might look to make a move onto the Porsche driver, instead just waiting and biding the time. But
this is for position.
Again, has struggled really much during the entirety of this race, and really needs something to try and get his confidence back. Even with this overtake, it might be the thing that sets him up for the next race. But a poor showing in the Ferrari so far, and I'm not sure if this is what Budak actually drives more consistently, I don't believe it is, but if it isn't, then I think we found where you should not go in terms of vehicle choice.
Absolutely. And that's also another thing that's really important is your choice of vehicle around these tracks. As obviously we got 3 Ferraris in the front. Ferrari's running great today. The only Ford in the field leading it.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at Budak now, and yeah, it's actually a Ferrari BMW Master, so maybe it's just a bad race. Maybe it's something like we've seen Budak spin out a fair few times, but it's just not being a great race as you see he cuts that
Looks
corner
like he cut the
slightly.
corner there a little bit.
I don't think that helps him much in the Porsche, because I do believe that Porsche has more straight line speed than the Ferrari, so going into that is, well, he goes very wide again, as you can see a Lotus loose end spinning around again as we head into makers and bakers with that Budak. There's a contact between him and Henderson, and Henderson's spun.
Oh my gosh. Both off track. Oh my gosh.
Budak and Henderson have collided. Budak just goes to the outside as well, just waits for Henderson to get back. He doesn't want to trade that position, so big moment of fair play between him and Budak, but just unlucky. I think Henderson
it looked
might
like the Ferrari got into the back of the Porsche there, got him around.
Yeah, I think Henderson might have been on the brakes earlier than Budak was expecting and just went straight into him.
Wesley bypassing the pits again, running flat.
And we will be going back, just take another look at that incident between Budak and Henderson earlier on. Yeah, I think you can just see
right
there.
Into the back of him.
Yeah, I think you can just see there as well. It did look like Henderson did go on the brakes a bit earlier than Budak was expecting. So, complete racing incident, I do believe. So, yeah, but we will see what the
no ill will
stewards say. We will say what the stewards say, but especially considering how Budak pulled up alongside Henderson and waited for Porsche to get back on track, then I don't feel like there'll be much consequence to that. Actually, I mean, I say that, as soon as I say that, it will be a 5-second time penalty for Brad Budak for causing a collision. Although that might be reviewed later on, so we will see about that. As it will be Henderson now going to the pits again, as Budak now takes P11. So it will be interesting to see if Budak will get that time penalty. I don't think the stewards will keep that, but you never know. There's Budak.
Only time will tell.
Well,
and Wesley, the only car on the track still needing to take a pit stop.
Yeah, it is really interesting, but then again, he hasn't really needed to.
No.
And so as we are minutes away from going into our last half an hour, it's sort of a question as to when.
I mean, he's managed to gap back to second. It's still a little over 60 seconds. He's doing great.
Well, and that's answered our
here
question here.
There we go.
I think Marius Issenger might have been gaining on Wesley there, so he's seen that and gone, yeah, it's time for the pit stop. And so here's Marius Issenger now, and 60 seconds, not enough time to make up to Wesley. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, but now is going to be the case for this last 30 minutes of can he make it stick, and can he get closer and closer to Wesley and try and fight for this P1.
Yeah, this is our guy. He's going to be pushing extremely hard. His best chance to make up time right now is make up as much time while he's in the pits and push while he is on those cold tires. Because once those things get heated up, he's going to be right back to running 2 seconds flat. Yeah, and
I think as well there is some hope for Marius Issenger that some of the backrunners might cause Wesley some troubles. You know, we've seen that they have done before, and maybe hoping that they'll do that again as we go and see Wesley in the pits. Actually, this has been a lot longer than I think Wesley would have thought it would have been, as I do believe he's now coming out of the pits, or about to be, but you can see Marius Issinger overtakes Wesley in the
Marius
pits.
in the front. Oh my goodness.
I don't think anyone expected that. And his
long time.
Here's Toby. I don't believe that he had a pit stop penalty. Maybe he did. I'm not too sure.
I'm wondering if maybe it took that long to fuel the car. Maybe I'm really not sure. But in any case, Wesley on the hunt again. Second place, 30 minutes to catch Marius Issinger. Wow.
Yeah, 13 seconds behind Marius Issinger and still has to get those tyres warmed up. I mean, this is scary, but for Marius Issinger, I think the pressure and the most fear comes from that P1 position, because, you know, it's going to be difficult to really get involved and defend from Wesley. And already he's closing that gap on cold tyres. You've got to be perfect.
At what point do you just feel so hopeless? Like, would you have a driver of this caliber behind you? It's going to rattle you, absolutely, because you know he's coming. There's nothing stopping him but you and that 13-second gap between you and him. So you got to either extend it or maintain it. And that pressure can absolutely lead to mistakes. And that is not what you want to do in first place at all.
Yeah, you just saw that. I believe that's the focus here, just in front of Wesley now. And Marius Issinger, you're hoping that the Vukashir will slow down the Ford, but with the blue flags, I'm not too sure that will be the case. And you can see Mikael Blom in the other Lamborghini just behind Wesley.
And he's making up time.
Yeah, very quickly, and he's also extending it between him and Toby Issinger, so Marius is going to have to do this all by himself as Lotus Lucian goes for what I believe is his 5th pit stop, as so does Budak in a Ferrari. There are a lot less pit stops for him than Lotus Lucian, but Wesley, you can see him already gain so much time, and these tyres, you're still going to be cold. So, you know, as we go towards Magnus and Beckett, it's really interesting to see how much time he's gaining on these cold tyres. You've got to think how much he's going to gain with Issinger's tyres that aren't great versus Wesley's new tyres that are cold for now, but when they're warm, he's going to be gaining even faster.
Yeah, and you know Marius is thinking about that. It's always rough when there's a fast car behind you. It's even worse when there's a fast car with new tires behind you. Oftentimes it can really feel like the world is against you. But Marius, he's either got to hold on or he's got to give up, and I can promise you he's not going to give up.
Yeah, well, he's going to get his best, but will the best be enough when you come up with a driver of Wesley's caliber? Yeah, you've seen Mahan Wantawa also in front of Marius Issinger there, maybe asking for a favour, maybe some slipstream from the BMW, maybe some help in keeping Wesley at bay for now, but you can already see, even on the side-by-side, how much time Wesley has gained, as it feels like every time we see one corner taken from Marius Issinger, Wesley takes it less time
less and less time
did. And Lotus Lucian, another time penalty crossing the pit exit line, so it's not really going to affect Lotus Lucian, I don't think. I think he's just collecting them at this point. And Wesley, 158.6 this last lap on cold tyres, by the way.
I don't even know what to say. This dude is driving the wheels off of that thing. Holy cow. That is 2 seconds faster than Marius was running last lap.
I mean, wow. Just incredible stuff.
Unbelievable.
From Wesley. And, no, it does feel... I don't know how it feels. I'm shocked. And if I'm shocked and I'm just watching this, I have no idea how Mario Sissinger feels when he sees that.
Like, how sick are you when you see that you passed the guy and you've got a 13-second lead, and then you look up and it's an 8-second lead? What do you even do? What do you even do? I don't even know. It's insane. Wesley has put on an absolute clinic today. I'm so impressed with the stride that I've seen, and I can't wait to see what happens once he catches him.
Yeah, I mean, I think driver of the day would have to go to Wesley, but we've still got a lot of time here to go between him now and the end of the race, so anything
Absolutely.
can happen with Mario Sissinger and Wesley, and one spin can ruin the race, but Sissinger, Wesley, the gap tightening even more, and this is concerning for any Mario Sissinger fans.
He's just got to keep going. Do not look at that mirror. Don't. Oh my God.
158.3 Wesley. Yeah. Like, I think it's fair to say the tires have warmed up now, but I mean, the gap, 7 seconds now between Sissinger and Wesley, and shortening what feels like every second.
I said it earlier, man. As this race gets down to the wire, we are going to see these guys go harder and harder and harder. I don't even know if we've seen the best out of Wesley yet. Cut the lead down to 6.2 seconds.
I honestly just want to stay silent and just watch Wesley, because I am so in awe of how this Ford is performing. Because now I know the Ford is a good car and a set cosa competizione, but I think this is a new level of Ford and how it can be used and pushed to the absolute limit.
He's doing an amazing job. And
5 seconds now.
Let's take a full lap here with Wesley as he goes through farm.
Yeah, I think we will start off this lap as a 5.5 second gap between him and Sissinger, and I really want to see what it is like, what that gap is at the end of this lap.
Using the full width of the track there, get that great run. Coming down Wellington into Brooklands, gonna get hard on the brakes here, gonna get that thing turned in. Down right, big sweeping right-hander through left field. Off the gas, back on the gas now, finally coming through Woodcote.
Yeah, and
coming up to Coates here.
158.9 is the previous lap. We'll watch the rest of this lap with Wesley, as he's already gone to a sub-5. He's already shaved off a second. Ever since we started off, we're following Wesley. He's shaved off a second as we go into Michaels and Beckett here. And you can see
masterful.
Mario Sissinger.
Yeah, 3 seconds last lap he put on. Just
Yeah.
absolutely. This is, I've never seen a driver be this fast.
Yeah,
Out
Mario
of
Sissinger
everyone else.
In comparison, Mario Sissinger 2:01.8 last lap, the Ferrari. Wesley is 3 seconds, as you said, 3 seconds faster as the Ford. I mean, incredible stuff from the Dutch driver of Wesley. 6th place. It makes you question how he got 6th place at his last Silverstone event. And but it also makes you realise why he got 9 top 3 finishes in his last 10 races, with the only one that wasn't, it was because of a DNF. It's insane.
Crazy driver, man. So much talent, so much car control. It's a play.
I mean, one of the top drivers of full Grip Motorsport here, and you can see why. I mean, just look at this. How much time he's catching up. Here's Lotus Lucien. Mario Sissinger makes the
middle.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Wesley gets held up here. The gap is 2 seconds Will Lotus Lucian be able to hold off? No, he's not even going to try. Wesley glides by and now has Mario Sistinger firmly in his sights. 22 minutes to go at Silverstone. What will this end result be?
He's coming. Like lightning.
The pit window is closing now.
The pit window is now closed as well.
We just heard their pit windows closing down. And also, Wesley's last lap, 158.387. That's 0.02 of a second slower than his best lap. Incredible stuff there. Here we go. Wesley, Mario Sistinger, 20 minutes to go at Silverstone. What will
see if Marius starting to feel that pressure now.
I mean, I think Marius has been feeling that pressure for the past 5 minutes now. Ever since Wesley went into the pits and got those new tyres, but now the pressure has arrived at the front door. Wesley now
Marius a little loosey through there.
You can see, yeah, you can see Isinger loose through that corner as we now go into turn 1 into Magnussen Beckett's now. Will Wesley be able to make anything stick? I think he actually lost a bit of grip there. Not Magnussen Beckett, sorry. We go into the back straightaway with the old start-finish line as you see Wesley, the line going wide and sweeping into that left-hander. And now this is the part where he's going to thrive, this long open stretch. This is the one part where Isinger was decent. That Ferrari was really pulling him forward earlier on, but now Wesley's back. And look how much he's gained in that stretch. Not enough to make a move, but good enough to get right onto the bumper of Marius Isinger.
Wow. Wes, Lee, Mario, Marius Isinger. It's going to be great here near the end. Let's see what these two got for each other.
Yeah, you
hope they can keep it clean.
Get on the brakes a bit ahead of that first corner as we go into Magnussen Beckett's. This could be where Marius Isinger loses this P1 as you notice as well, the temperature in the top left going down as well, so the race dropping is going to be lower. But Wesley's actually just going to give a lot of respect to Marius Isinger. But this is going to be the point where Wesley will make a move, you think, on this back front straight. And look at this. We'll make the
right
move,
here.
Look towards the inside. Isinger tries to defend, but isn't going to be able to defend as Wesley goes to the outside, side by side, but Isinger keeps ahead for now.
Wesley actually backs out in that corner, thought better of it. Gonna try and get up alongside him here, going into the club. Not able to make it complete it this time.
Yeah, Marius Isinger, you have 20 minutes of defending to do. Let's see how long you can last. With Wesley right on your bumper in that electric Ford. As now we go forward, and when I say electric, I mean electric as in it's doing really well.
Exciting.
Not an electric car. Exciting, yes, that's the one. As we now go into the hairpin turn, you can see Isinger being given lots of respect by Wesley here on these corners. Every time we get off the straight, you fear.
Get a penalty.
Oh no, and it's Toby Isinger with a drive-through penalty. Okay, for a second I thought that was Marius. For a second I thought that was Marius.
I did too. I was like, no.
Oh.
Still holding strong.
The thing is as well is, when Wesley is being held up, yes, it's a 20-second gap between him and Toby Isinger, but it's still being held up. As you see at the top of your screen, Brad Budak also has a drive-through penalty as well, but here's Wesley now looking to try and make a move on the inside of Marius Isinger. He has the speed, but
he backed out. He backed out of it.
Look onto the inside, but not able to make that move stick. And this is got to feel like taunting for Marius Isinger. The fact that Wesley keeps having the look, and now into Marius Beckett, he gives you that space again. I mean, this has got to feel like a taunt. As you can see in the distance, I think that might have been the BMW of Mahan Lantara in the distance, and that could be such a big factor in this. As Wesley looks to
he's got a good run
onto the outside again. Isinger defends, but Wesley gets his nose in front and looking to try and get that lead into the corner, but Isinger's still there, not letting Wesley go without a fight, but still side by side to the corner, and now Wesley can get the power down and get into P1.
your new leader. Wow. Clean, smooth, fast. That's the 3 words I'd use to describe Wesley right now.
And look, you can already see the gap built up between him and Marius Issinger, and I think this might be your P1 for the final 17 minutes of action. As you can see, Marius Issinger is not able to keep up with that forward. He has to rely on these corners. They're actually not too far away, so these corners are going to be
just these big old straight lines.
But yeah, these straights are
right
what
here.
killing the Ferrari. You can see already a second gap built between Issinger and Lee, and I think any hope that he might be able to save it up until I believe has either Emil Antonsson or Mahan Montawa in that car just up ahead is gone and faded. I think the only way you get back into P1 now is if Wesley has a horrendous wreck.
First person now, Wesley. Rub his eye here.
We go right onto the helmet of the lead car. As we saw as well, Tobias did serve that drive-through penalty earlier on, and now go to P5. They also are in P4, and Wesley van der Linden in P3 now, but still a 30-second gap between him and Issinger, who has actually managed to keep right up with Wesley, and still only half a second away in that gap. And actually, Issinger could go for a move there down into the straight.
Issinger!
Hold on.
Oh my
Marius
gosh!
Issinger.
Where did this speed come from? Holy cow! Just went and took it. Marius Issinger back into the lead.
Wow, I did not expect that, and now this is a proper
Wow.
brawl we have between Issinger and Wesley as we go into these
Looks like
sharp
we may have a
turns.
bigger battle than we thought. Holy cow! I mean, he just drove up there and took it on the straight.
Yeah, look at this now, on the straight, on this back straight again. Here comes Wesley though, shrinking that gap once again. Not able to make that move just yet, but as we go in towards these corners, so getting on the brakes of Issinger, and look at that gap still created by Lee, shortening every time Lee goes into one of these turns. And we've gotten word now that it was actually Wesley who had to give up that position because of overbearing onto the track, and so, or overtaking off the track I should say. So Wesley had to give that P1 away, but is looking to get that back as soon as he can. 15 minutes to go.
I was very curious as to what happened there.
Now Issinger on the defence again, in towards Maggots and Beckett's here as Wesley sticks out those in front but has to back out that move in towards Maggots and Beckett's. Issinger goes a bit wide though compared to Wesley. Or into Cops I should say, sorry. Now into Maggots and Beckett's.
Now you can start to feel maybe a little bit of frustration is getting to Wesley, because he went up there and passed him like it was nothing. Now he's got to do it all over again. Let's see if he can get it done.
I mean, this could be a repeat from last lap, but this time Wesley needs to stay on track as now he looks on the outside to make the move onto Marius Issinger, but he's not got
He's
enough
going to try
room.
go inside. Let's see if
Looking
Marius leaves in the lane.
Yeah, Marius gives him a lot of room, but he's going to try defending to that inside line, and this is going to prevent Wesley from making that, but Issinger goes wide. He's gone very wide. Very
Wesley,
close to
very
all-four.
gracious. Very gracious there.
Yeah, it looked like Issinger was millimetres away from all 4 tyres off the track, but I think just about saving himself as we go now into
It
this
looked like
last
Wesley
section.
tried to make a move on the inside there and maybe lost the slipstream or something. He couldn't complete the pass. Now heading into Village now.
Yeah, now into
Issinger's
Village
still in the
for
lead. He
half
has the
a
advantage
second.
through these corners.
Wesley has shown time and time again that he can downplay that to nothing in the matter of the straight, and here we go now, not able to make a move, I don't think, unless he was
late breaking up the inside. Marius Issinger played it so safe and hit. Oh, he's off the course.
Yeah, I don't think Wesley or Marius expected Wesley to go for that from so far away, but he
That
did,
was an
and now Wesley
extremely deep.
back into P1.
If you're gonna do it, that's the way to do it. Wow, what a dive bomb, man. That was incredible. No lockup or anything on Wesley's Ford Mustang.
Yeah, now Marius
What a move.
Now over half a second gap between him and Wesley as we go into Magus and Beckett.
Let's see if he can catch him.
But we've seen once that Islinger was keeping up with Wesley. Yes, he had a penalty, but Islinger more determined now than he has done before, but it's these straights that are going to kill him. But look at the speed on the slipstream of Islinger keeping up with Wesley. Hold on. It's not there.
Don't go nowhere,
yet.
folks. We still got 12 minutes, and Issinger's right here.
Yeah, Islinger's still close, and now if Wesley might be able to get held up by some of these cars in front, these back markers, maybe there's a chance. Islinger going into the grass of the pit, so that's going to lose him a few precious milliseconds. And Wesley's still ahead, but not gaining
He's
as much
sticking
as
with
you
him.
would think. Yeah, the slipstream
Give him a second.
really helping out Islinger. Get this
Nothing with
back
that
view.
cam.
Wesley, Islinger. It's just, I feel like this is the part where Islinger really struggles in course. You can see the second gap has emerged, and you can see Wesley now just leaving Islinger in dust. So I think he's going to be nearly out of slipstream range.
If he's not, he is now. Especially coming out of this corner right here. And I believe Wesley will tack onto his lead here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, 2 second gap. Nice. Now he's had to concede to second place. Now it does look like this might be how this race ends, with Wesley in first, but you never know. Never say never if you're Marius Islinger. There could always be a spin or a collision. Really
Got a lot of horses under that hood too for Wesley. He's done so good so far.
And meanwhile, we will be taking a look at an early incident on the replay with Toby Islinger, but why he got that drive-through penalty. As you see,
Oh
yeah,
my goodness.
very wide.
And that's what we talk about. Just a tiny mistake can put you 30, 40 seconds behind, man. That's really tough.
Background as well. Saw in the background as well. Wesley van der Linden there as well, who's now currently in P3. Toby Islinger once laid, but now taking this spout back. And Wesley van der Linden has been a really interesting race because you had a very good start. You were in P1, very much under pressure from Toby Islinger, sorry. Lost the position, then had a big crash with it was Michael
what was his name? Mark
in a Lamborghini.
Michael Blum. Yeah.
Michael Blum. Michael
Blum.
Blum in the Lamborghini, who has since retired. He's retired from the session.
Yeah.
And really messed his race up, and now has fought back to P3. So really good points actually for Wesley van der
Honestly,
Linden.
from after that penalty, it's really good to see him back in third. Because that was, especially going into club where they had that accident, such a hard braking zone. I'm trying to get back on the gas and leaving other cars room. It's really difficult to get through there cleanly, especially when you're fighting for position. It doesn't surprise me that it happened. I hate it for both of the drivers, but van der Linden doing a great job, great recovery.
Yeah,
P3 right now.
27-second gap on Get Sarabia in P4. Unfortunately, that gap between him and P2 is too far for him to think about. As we now tune on with the Mexican Gael Sarabia in the McLaren, who has had a
great second half. Like, the second half of this race has been great.
honestly
Or
think
would
ever
it be-
since he spun out the Thai driver of Power at Sherbalam earlier on, who has again since retired, then he has fully locked in and done well to get himself up to P4.
Yeah, he's done a very good job today. Something to be proud of today for this guy, especially with those early incidents. Done great.
Yeah, indeed. And considering as
Who
well,
else is still running?
I was gonna say-
Randhawa. If we want to talk about somebody that's had a couple incidents today, Randhawa's been through it, through the ringer, couple penalties. What? Sitting in 7th right now?
yeah, Randhawa.
Beautiful
Representing the
BMW.
Randhawa brothers. Isha Randhawa meant to be racing today, but unfortunately not able to attend, and so Mahara Randhawa is doing, hopefully, his brothers proud.
I'd hope
it's
so.
not-
I mean,
it's
especially all the
not-
stuff he's been through today. It's great that he's finishing.
Yeah, it is good, but another person we've not really talked about, and it's just been a consistent mid-pack, is Ben Navy. No, had a
Yeah,
very good race.
consistently 6th to 7th today. I think the
Yeah.
lowest I saw him was, what, 9th about midway through the race? He's been doing great.
Yeah, I think it's just consistent lap times around that 2-minute mark. As you can see, best
Yeah.
lap 2 minutes 1.6. So
Yeah,
just laps, and
Staying
he's
out
not
of trouble
losing time. And at this point, even if he is, then is Mahan Randhawa's so far away from him. If we look at the gap, 40 seconds away. So
and that's what's so interesting about these
10
endurance
seconds away, I
races.
should say.
You get such big gaps because over the course of a run, you know, if you're running faster than those dudes behind you and that piles up, you're looking at 30, 40 second leads after, you know, like, what do I try to say here? Yeah. So throughout the run, if you're putting up obviously faster lap times, you're going to see a bigger gap. Especially in long races like this endurance race.
Yeah, Ben Navy, very good try today, very consistent. I think
Very
we'll
good.
look at
That pretty
the
set in
pride of this
21.
P6. But we will be going into the last 5 minutes of Silverstone. Lap 85 now for Wesley, and for Lotus Lucian, lap 77. No, I do feel sorry for our 12th place driver, but has had a lot of unfortunate errors with penalties and spins and crashes. I think we've mainly seen Lotus Lucian sideways and backwards more than we have done forwards on the track, as you see at the top of your screen, Emily Lantinson with a time penalty.
Yeah, but hopefully Lucien will learn from this and he'll come back even stronger. You got to make what's the saying? You got to break a couple eggs to make an omelet. He broke all his eggs today.
Yeah, best lap time 2:04, so really not.
Yeah, well off the
for
pace of the
remaining.
other drivers, but it's a good thing he got out here and ran the whole race. I mean, that's admirable. 9 laps down and you're going to finish the race? Dude, give Lucien his props for that, absolutely. Because he stuck it out and he's going to finish. And the information he gained from the race today will be invaluable in the next races he races here. So overall, I'd say it's a very positive experience, especially for a man that's had so much trouble today. He's finishing his race. Very proud of. Very good effort. Can be proud of that.
Here's another driver that was actually kind of surprised with how low he has fallen. But Duke, DNF his previous race at Spa, but you know, you look at some of the times. His last lap was 2 minutes, and his best lap was a 1:59.5 in that Ferrari. So I
goes
know
to
he's been in
tell
a few
me-
instances today, but
He's a very fast driver. It just seems like he got into a little bit of trouble today. Maybe so. I know he got penalties for sure. I remember seeing those, but he's clearly extremely fast. But tiny little mistakes and penalties, they'll put you far in the back.
yeah, and as well, here is Samuel Henderson, our only Porsche driver today, and our UK representative, who has had a day to forget.
Yeah, not too much going on for him today. Good on him finishing his race. It'll be probably 3 laps down when he finishes.
And
But
Anderson
I
as
didn't
well
really
in
see.
Silverstone.
Was Henderson in any big incidents today? Yes, he
I think
was
it might
with
have been one.
Yeah, it was the Porsche and the No. Wait, I'm thinking.
Yeah, and here's Emil Antonsen as well. For a Silverstone debut, not the best, but not the worst, I suppose. Could have been worse, as we will now go to a replay of why Emil Antonsen actually got that penalty for causing a collision, as you can see him
Oh.
going into that.
I can see how this is about to go wrong right here.
Yeah,
Yep.
this is efficient Ferrari.
Very
I mean,
good
the
on
be-
both of those drivers for hanging onto those cars.
Yeah, best thing about that was that they held both Toby Issinger and Emil Antonsen held on to that, so it's not that big, but you know, it's enough as you look at the
Yep, still an incident.
Yeah.
It was very lucky neither of them got turned or sideways.
Yeah,
Final 2 minutes.
P8.
Holy cow. Cannot believe it.
He's not had the most memorable race, not had one to really go in, as we look at Mahan Rantawa, who has been, like you said, with a few incidents today, so maybe not where he wanted to be, but at the same time maybe a place that he'll be happy with anyway, but we need to look for retribution.
Yeah,
in his
especially
next
after all
race.
those incidences. I'd be happy to just finish. And he's done extremely well. He's been pretty fast. I wish I could see their average lap times, but I mean his best almost 2 flat. Or Ben Namey, Ben Namey, excuse me.
Ben Namey now, consistent driver. If he would be the driver of the day, but I think that goes to someone else. Is going to P6 and P5. Toby Issinger, part of the Issinger brothers. Really nice, well done to him today after a few incidents. P4, El Sarabia, the Mexican, as we see him come towards start-finish line.
Yeah, we can give Sarabia his props too. He's done
Okay, the
great.
leader is on the final lap now. Give it all you can.
Top
Final
3, Wesley van der
lap.
Linden in P3. Had a rough day today, could have been a lot better, but could have been a lot worse. And van der Linden to fight
Absolutely.
for P3 has been very good. As we go now to another driver who's done very well, Marius Issinger in that Ferrari, who's done incredibly in that Ferrari to go from front to back to front again. So really well played from Marius Issinger, but not the best today, I think. And I think this would be our driver of the day in P1 is Wesley in the Ford, who has been absolutely incredible today.
Just an
As that
amazing
checkered flag
drive.
waves. We'll give Wesley the driver of the day award. 158.3 is that best lap, and it's not going to be beaten even if we were going for 24 hours, I don't think, because Wesley has been incredible. And so, as we come on to this final part of the race, it will be Wesley in first leading, as we will be looking towards the start-finish line very, very soon, as Wesley is on the final few corners. But I mean, incredible stuff from him today.
It's just amazing, man. It's not often you see a driver start on pole, penalty, come from the back. It's all under pace too. That's what's incredible. He did it just by skill. Just drove right up to the front, hitting consistent lap times the whole race.
Yeah, and as we go into
And
the start
now-
finish, Wesley loses the back a bit, but here we go for the checkered flag. It is the Ford, and it is Wesley to win the Silverstone. 3 hours in the Ford. 89 laps completed by Wesley, the Dutch driver, and as another top 3 finish for him, as Marius Issinger follows in behind him in P2. German one half of the Issinger brothers coming in for a great race. Mahan Rantawa also finishing in P7th. As we look at Wesley van der Linden as he comes in for his P3, a hard fought P3, but it was one that is fully deserved to the Dutch drive, and you can see him flashing the lights in celebration. What a drive from him today.
And Gail Sarabia coming in to finish his race. Gonna finish in 4th. Good, just amazing race from all of these drivers today, man. I was entertained the whole time. That was great. And congrats to Wes Lee. Did an amazing job. Just pure pace, skill. God, it was amazing. Amazing to watch him do his job. So cool.
Yeah, non-stop action. As the Vukashir does get a time penalty at the end for blocking. Right at the end, 10-second time penalty, but Toby Issinger will finish, as does David Gashir. Emil Antonsson for his first Silverstone race. Solution as well, finishing just behind him. And here's Balap Budak in the Ferrari, who has been saying some good times, but just been unlucky with the incidents today, but will be able to finish in P11th. So, something to work from. And you can see Penn Namey as well with a time penalty right at the end. You see Ben Namey coming in for the final few corners of this race. His time penalty is still there. He will finish P6th. Is actually crossing the pit exit line, 5-second time penalty, and you can see ahead of him Samuel Henderson also there, although I believe he will retire from this race just after. It will be, I believe that is P10 for Samuel Henderson, as Ben Namey comes towards the finish line, and he will be finished eventually. And it will be a P6 finish for the McLaren driver.
Wow.
And what a race.
What a race.
Was, as you can see, this early messenger.
Oh yeah, this one was bad.
Between
Dan Leeson
and Patrick Olsen, which forced Leeson to retire, but this battle with Toby Issinger, and I believe that was Ben Namey. Brilliant
Into
battle.
brackets.
This game
Ron
just
Howard
slowed right
getting
down.
up. Issinger gonna take advantage of both of them. He's gonna shoot it up the middle. He's gonna have the.
Yeah,
Oh, that was a great move. Look at this. Just wow. Wow.
Yeah, and Harriet Shea-Blanda
Yeah,
incident that forced him to retire. An unlucky ending for the Thai driver.
Here's what we were all waiting for right here.
Yeah, this is incredible scenes.
The yellow car was leading at the time that this happened and got a penalty for that. If anyone was not here for that, that's racing incident.
Yeah, this was the move that really set everything we saw up between Wesley, Marius Issinger, Toby Issinger, Wesley van der Linden. This all started here with Michael Blom in the Lamborghini. You see now, this is where Wesley managed to overtake Toby Issinger.
That was the overtake for third. And then Wes, his sights were set on second and first. And it did not take him long.
Yeah, and this was Wesley van der Linden's final sort of swan song, trying to defend against Marius Issinger, which allowed, I think, Wesley to come at Issinger a lot quicker than it could have been.
Yeah, they were fighting really hard, and it gave a big opportunity for Wesley there to come up and eventually catch both of them and make the moves to take home the W. Awesome race here. That Wesley's pass for second right there. Beautiful.
I think something we saw a lot of today in this race as well is that there was a lot of mistakes where people went wide. You know, Wesley van der Linden done it a few times. That really caught, and we saw as well Toby Issinger going wide just before Wesley overtook him. So, you know, there was a lot of instances like that, as you see in Motor Solution. getting
Well, I didn't even realize this during the race. Marius had to get onto his brakes right there, and that might have been what allowed Wes to catch up like this. Wow, man. What a pleasure this was.
Unforgettable race at Silverstone here tonight. We just keep watching Wesley van der Linden, the three-way battle here. With your old arch nemesis Michael Blom right behind. And I think like this was the story of the race.
And I'll take a Ford victory on the 4th of July, or the 5th of July. I'll take it. I'm quite happy with that.
Even though the only US driver was disqualified.
We are not talking about that.
Yeah,
the Bentley.
Forget for FGM.
Bentley struggled today.
But I think this was the main story of this race. Wesley van der Linden, Michael Blom. I feel like you can say whatever you want about to with Wesley and how good his race was to the Islinger brothers and these moves and how Marius was trying his best to defend against Wesley, but couldn't do it. But
just massive braking right there by excuse me. A massive braking move there by Wesley.